It's happening. Listen, before this episode starts, we just thought we'd make a little clip to let you know that anyone who doesn't know, we now have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/another one podcast. And there's like a few different tiers on there. And we can go and get where you can sign up to us. And it helps us make this podcast. Helps us pay for the podcast. Helps us make it better. Helps us improve and put more content out. We've got big plans for things we want to do. Haven't we? Since
Yes, we have. We've got big plans. We have got big plans.
Yes, Rob. Yes.
No, we have got big plans, and without anyone signing up to the Patreon, this will die.
Yeah.
This will go away eventually, because if we can't make it work financially, we can't keep doing it, can we?
No, we can't just keep throwing fucking...
No, and we've got Aftermill to buy, and that fucking costs
We've got kids to pay for. Yeah. Listen, I'll be honest, if I can't provide, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So...
And we already know.
You don't want to make an orphan.
We already know how it's going, don't we? So we needed to be giving us something back.
Yeah, please.
Because we're bleeding here.
My kids are begging. My kids begging.
So sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/another one podcast.
That's it. There's 3 different tiers, loads of different prices.
Pick one.
Help
sign
us.
Up. You won't even notice it going out your bank. It's a couple of quid.
Less than a Tesco meal deal. Oh, well, maybe more than a Tesco meal deal.
You'd buy a starving man a meal deal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm starving. That's what we are. Look at me.
Look at him. Do you think that? Do you think this?
Help.
Another one.
Lovely. Hi everyone, welcome to Another One podcast.
It's happening.
With me, Simon Wozniak, co-host Robert Thomas.
Co-host?
Oh, look at you. Have you been upgraded?
And I was a bit snide.
Why? And with us today, we've got a debutante.
You all know why.
Jojo Sutherland.
I know, first time for everything.
Yeah.
Took your fucking time asking me, but there we go.
Oh, well, fuck off. We asked you ages ago. You cancelled on us. It's because you're all the way up in fucking Scotland, so you can't get hold of you.
Oh, not anymore now. I'm all around the country.
Where are you based now?
And before we crack on with that, we'll just introduce Adam Staunton.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
There you go. That's Adam there. Right,
Cheers.
Here we go. Where are you based?
So you're not based anywhere now?
I'm not based anywhere. I gave up my house on no fixed abode, 30th of September. Yeah, but I'm not a cunt.
Not even a minute in. Not even a minute in, Jojo.
He's always been alright when I've met him.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met him, to be honest.
I love if he hears that, he'll get really upset.
Right.
I haven't seen him for years.
So you're tight with him, are you, a bit?
I haven't seen him for years. No, he's really sensitive.
If you're genuinely tight, then I'd be like, oh, that's not great. But if it's like there's beef there and you've just gone outright and gone, he's a cunt.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see what the response is.
I've got to respect that.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever done that once. I've only named the name once, I think.
Yeah, you did, and you wanted to bleep it, didn't you?
And then I never did.
Yeah. I know.
The intention was there, though.
Yeah, I wanted to bleep it, and I couldn't be arsed editing it, so I didn't.
On this podcast, the philosophy is that time heals all wounds.
Right, okay.
So whenever we have a struggle with something, I just know, give it 6 weeks and then it'll be fine. Yeah. We've just done the live show. I've watched the first draft of that back, and I'm not doing it again.
Do you edit this? Because the podcast.
No, I edit it.
Oh, right, okay. So the Be Honest podcast that I do with Bruce, we don't edit, so we just say to all the guests, if you don't want to broadcast, don't say it.
When you suggest edit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What I mean is, I chop it with the start and the finish, and I put it out.
Yeah.
Unless someone specifically says, "Can we get rid of that bit?" Then they just get put out.
Has anyone ever asked that? Can you get rid of this bit?
A few people, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think people get quite relaxed in podcasts and then they kind of forget.
I don't. God's always up, Jojo.
Oh, really?
The more I've done it, the more the God. To be honest, now I just outright go, I'm closed.
Yeah.
I won't answer anything I don't want to, and I'll move on.
Protect yourself at all times.
Protect yourself at all times. I'd be like Mayweather when that guy just goes, bang, knocks him out straight away.
We, during the festival, we're doing it daily, the podcast, and the listenership went up by 247% because we were talking about everybody.
Everybody's shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I tried to do a podcast with Tom Taylor.
Okay.
But it was just during the lockdown in the car, and he was just sitting his, and I was sitting mine. We recorded ourselves because it was so informal. It just ended up like a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, none of this is broadcastable because it's just us bitching about everything now.
I think bitching is great as long as it's not malicious.
It would be
a
great listen. Yeah. Obviously, listen to a bitch is a great listen, but you can't, can you?
I know.
It's when they get to a certain level. So I had a little pop at one comic.
Right.
That another comic's fan misconstrued it as being about them. and they came out. They came for me.
Oh, really?
Right, they were messaging him going, he's been a little snide about your ear, mate. He's a little snake and all that. Basically, Adam Rowe I wasn't talking about him, but it was
everybody else is.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about somebody else, but they all assumed it was about him because he'd just gone through a breakup.
Oh,
and I was talking about someone's bird cheating on them. And he was like, that must be why he's broken up with her. And he's telling everyone, and Adam doesn't want anyone to know. And it's like, it wasn't even about him. You fucking gang of psychopaths.
Absolutely.
You're all so desperate for it to be, you're also desperate to be a part of Have a Word that you like, they all ran into him going, Rob's gossiping about you, gossiping about you. And he texted me, going, what's that about? And I was like, mate, listen to it. It is what I said. Who do you think it's about? He went, I think it's about this. And I was like, exactly what it was about.
Well, because Adam Rowe's girlfriend wasn't cheating on him, it was something else.
Stir up shit, though. They're just thinking how good the episode could be, aren't they? They're just thinking of the potential episode if something big breaks between two acts. They're going,
thinking about getting you back on Have a Word and then confronting you.
They just have a murder about
at the same time, spotlight, pulling up the texts or the messages or whatever on a big screen.
So
that was so funny.
You gave up a house.
Yeah, I only rented because I split up with my husband during lockdown. So then in September,
congratulations.
August. I mean, we didn't last long in lockdown.
So March and then August it was done.
Yeah.
How long was it on the cards though before lockdown?
There'd been a few. Yeah, we'd kind of gone back and forth a few times, and do you know what I mean? But I'm always away, so you kind of it was
a long marriage.
23 years. Yeah.
Oh wow!
So
over in 1 month of lockdown.
Not 1 month. We went in March and then we split up in August.
About 3-4 months.
Actually, we split up on his birthday because
You all about the timing. You wanted to fuck him a bit. Split up on
Leave
Christmas.
a legacy.
Something.
Surprise.
Yeah.
This cunt's gotta cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the sort of, and I hated lockdown and everything that it stands for.
So can we get into it? Can we get into what it was like then?
What was like the lockdown?
Living in the house when he's fucking.
Oh, it was horrible.
Sniping at each other?
I mean, but it was horrible for everybody, I think. And my eldest son was there and my youngest daughter was there and they do not get on at all. So that was literally, I mean, week one, she threw a curry at him or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. So how old is your youngest?
My youngest is 19 and my eldest is 31.
Right.
But there was so they never grew up together. So because he joined the Navy and then she was, too little. He was only ever back for 2 weeks on leave and stuff. So they didn't have a bad relationship. They just didn't really know each other. So, and she was a bit pissed off with him because he did put us through the mill by going to prison for a prank. But that's another really long story.
Can we?
God, yeah, you can ask me anything you like.
Prank?
The prank, he stuck a bottle up someone's arse.
Which end?
We did that at a live show, Jojo.
Not a prank to Saturday.
Yeah, which end?
Yeah. I've made it sound harsher than it was. No, but it was in the Navy. It was
That sounds like somebody got bitter about a prank and then decided to report. That's how in my head. That's where that's gone.
Well, there was videoed, and I've seen the video, and actually the bottle doesn't go up the anus, even though that's what he was accused of.
What's he get done for?
So did he
Sexual assault.
So he goes to actual prison or just military prison?
Actual prison. He went to a paedophile jail
on the
in
same
Cambridge
wing
for 5 years. He was in the same prison as Max Clifford.
Jesus.
Was he?
Yeah. Oh, it was off the scale.
Max Clifford.
Max Clifford.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how did that come about then?
So basically, he joined the Navy at 17 and it was like, young lad starting. And if you know anything about the military, and everybody does, all the games that are played. And quite, I mean, when he first was doing
the banter.
Basic training, when he first doing basic training, he was attacked, in the middle of the night with sort of naked men coming in with flip-flops. And then 2 weeks later, he had to do it to the new recruits. And it's all this kind of male bonding or whatever it's called.
Bad Lads Army.
Yeah, and you kind of go, I don't bloody condone it at all. I think it's fucking disgusting. But it's kind of expected behaviour. And yet,
like what you said about bullying, it's like there for the grace of God go I, innit?
Yeah.
It's like if you don't do it, it's getting done to you. So fucking.
It's like the stag do when I was going like
self-preservation.
That's what happens. It's like the culture of lads together. It's like
absolutely.
great pranks, and I hate pranks.
Yeah.
I hate them. because
But
they
also-
make me. I'm like, I don't find it funny.
No, I don't find it funny. But that's that is the culture. And pranks had been done to him and vice versa. And they'd all been really drunk and they were in the mess. But the thing that's weird about it, and I did a show about it, of course, because what do you do when your life falls
it's a job,
apart?
innit?
You know,
Did you
5
suggest
stars.
he do it to someone?
Yeah, I know, it's like
you're
I'm
doing?
really struggling for material here. Really
An
struggling.
accessory to sexual assault.
But yeah,
do me a
I mean,
favour
it
and just
was-
get yourself sent to prison. I
Yeah.
can breathe.
Pacifico, they've got a big neck on it.
absolutely genuinely, and now I've filmed it, and hopefully we're going to turn it into a movie.
What bottle was it?
It was Heineken.
Heineken.
Yeah. So,
good,
but interestingly,
Heineken, not bad,
a lot of it's politics, and it's the whole kind of.
So-
the fact that the military they can't recruit, they're trying to get new people in. They're basically saying the culture doesn't exist, which is a lie because it does.
Yeah.
And I, by all means, 100% said all along, yeah, fine, if that's what he's done and that's, you want to punish him, seems like a hefty punishment, but by all means punish him. But if you're going to send him to prison for what he did, then you have to jail the entire military because they're all doing it. And don't tell me they're not, because I know they are.
So who reported it then? So the guy he does it. He supposedly shoves this bottle up this guy's arse.
Yeah.
It's not the guy who gets it done reports it to anyone.
No. So the video doesn't go off ship, but it goes right. It's like ha 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 ha. Do you know what I mean? It goes round the ship, and they just get wind of it. And then, in fact, actually,
Why
my
didn't they
son
speak
went and
out?
reported it. Well, you think they would, wouldn't you? No, they worked for another 18 months before they even charged them.
So they wanted to. They must have just not liked it.
I don't know what there was a poster campaign which was "Don't kid yourself, it's sexual assault." It was a new poster campaign that they had spent millions on.
What was the guy doing? What was he wearing?
And I think it was genuinely he ended up being the poster boy for.
Right. They timed it to be
we
like, yeah.
we don't tolerate any of this behaviour, and look, this is what we've done.
Scapegoat.
But equally, I called the show "Riches to Rags" because. Again, long story. I grew up in a castle, but started at the top, steadily worked my way down. But I just think if I still lived in a castle, if my son wasn't what they considered a working class jock lad, would he have gone to prison if I still lived in a castle? Would he?
Yeah. Your son was dispensable, wasn't he? That's what it
Class
was, yeah.
system.
Do you reckon the Navy have got stuff like that on all of them, and they just wait for PR moments or stuff where bad shit is happening to release one and be like, right, make an example of him?
Yeah, I think that happens in all kinds
It's
of
probably not-
institutions. I think it happens in government. I think everything that's going on at the moment is very well planned, orchestrated.
Yeah.
Scandal for whenever we need to shift this
It's
person
probably not
in or out.
individuals, is it? It's probably just they've got circumstances, and then when a circumstance suit, doesn't matter who the individual is, as long as it's not someone they
Powerful.
like you say, as long as it's not someone they respect.
No, absolutely.
Then it'll be a case of
Top level.
that's sail them down the river sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you say, it is like that's all situations. This whole Liz Truss thing, I think this has all just been a massive setup. Like, they put her now on the firing line. I think the Tories want to lose an election now, so they can reset the Tory party and go again with the next lot.
So vote Tory everyone and keep the cunts in.
I think
I'll show them.
I think we're being run by unelected billionaires. I don't think any.
That's always been the case.
Yeah,
the
that's-
money in
yeah,
it.
Do you know what I mean?
The
I think
the
you
money
can have
talks.
Conservative, Labour, Lib Dem, it doesn't matter. They're not in charge anyway. There's a whole lot of money. Pharmaceutical companies, a whole bunch.
Do you know the way you're saying that, right? And we're all just aware of it. Do you ever wish that you could just make yourself a bit thicker and just not be aware of
Yeah,
that? And then just
I'd
live your
love
life
to
happily?
really, but
I sort of envy it a little bit. It's the same as when this whole
love
Black
to be
Lives
really
Matter thing
stupid.
come out.
Yeah, same.
yeah.
You know when Black Lives Matter thing come out, and I had cousins putting on Facebook, "All lives matter," and I was like, I wish I could be like you. No, but I wish I could. I wish I could think like them, because they've just got the first bit of information that they've seen from whatever the media.
I'm getting there.
Give you a few weeks.
Whatever the media wants to throw in
Give me
front of
another
them,
year and I'll be
and
there.
they've gone, yeah, that'll do me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish I could not think things through.
Yeah.
I wish I could just
my
take that
first
and go,
reactionary view
that'll do me.
was the one
that'll
I just
do,
kept.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and are fed what we're told. But I'm astonished at the amount of people that take things at face value and just don't check. I mean, just check. Just, do you know what I mean? It's dead easy. Do you know what I mean? Even you watch people on Facebook, you can't. I don't believe a word that comes out of anybody's mouth. Genuinely now, everything's exaggerated. You can be at a gig with somebody,
ironic.
and then you see the Facebook update, and you go, "It's not what happened, mate." You know what I mean?
That roof didn't come off. That roof stayed firmly in place. The fuck are you on about?
Wasn't even a slate missing.
I remember somebody put a Facebook status about getting a standing ovation at this club, and I was in the room. It was one guy who was getting up to go to the loo. I shit you not.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I've claimed that as an ovation before, Jojo, in Wrexham.
I just saw going to the toilet and you going, "Oh, standing ovation, is it? Yeah, nice one, everyone."
I got a standing ovation once off one person who had been racist in the show.
Right.
And it was like, and I called him out for it. I called him a cunt. He found it dead funny that I was calling him a cunt. And at the end of it was like give me a standing ovation for dealing with him. And I was like, are you messing? You've ruined this.
That level of stupidity that you were talking
Yeah.
about being envious of, that's that guy in a nutshell, isn't it?
It's just fucking, it was ridiculous. It's like, oh my, you've ruined, like.
But there are a lot of stupid people. When you asked me that question earlier about the chocolate bar, I was like, I bet it's dairy milk, because nobody's got an imagination. Everyone's just, And the problem with being smart is that very few people to talk to, because there's a lot of stupid people out there.
Are you all left wing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever read like right wing stuff just to give yourself like a balanced view?
Absolutely.
You don't stay in your like echo
Echo
chambers.
chamber.
You
Oh,
don't
no,
stay
no,
in that,
It depends
read
what you mean
sorts.
by right wing stuff, though.
I don't know. I guess stuff which isn't like, I suppose super left wing stuff would be like being very like environmentally conscious and recycling
not really
and
asked about that.
conscious.
Conscience.
I've got an
like
environmental
Talking about being
conscience.
stupid, you got environmentally conscious.
No.
Yes, Adam. I have read stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
I like to have a look at loads of different people's points of view. You know what I mean? In terms of, with COVID, with the whole idea of somebody being anti-vax or pro-vax, the extremities of things I'm always fascinated by, and why people have come to that conclusion and why they think like that.
See,
I met a Tory councillor who thought that food banks were a brilliant idea because it showed a sense of community.
Oh, yeah.
And he
I've
genuinely
seen-
believed that.
I've seen that a couple of times, yeah.
And it kind of
food
going,
banks, I've seen, was it Reece Mogg? Someone said food banks are a privilege.
You're just
It's like, it just shows
What,
how
like
privileged
white privilege or
we are in
something?
society to have food banks.
Yeah.
That's mental
because there's no food
gymnastics,
banks in
isn't
Africa. So like, how privileged are we that we can have food banks and help the people who can't feed themselves? It's like,
the sense of community, which she's just going, it is insanity.
have you seen when Boris Johnson said it? When who was it arguing with him? Said, you've never been in a food bank. And he went, no, take that back. Take that back. Take that back. I opened 3 of them when I was in London. And he was like, and he thought he'd won. He argued by saying, no, I opened 3 of them. So
And I had to piss in one.
It's just fucking...
But I'm fascinated by. But I understand why certain people feel a certain way. Do you know what I mean? If you've never had to, if you've never had to that knot in your stomach of not being able to pay your mortgage, or
you know
something's coming out your bank, and you're like, oh my god, I don't have enough money to pay for it. People that are in charge they've never had that sense of dread or worry.
Yeah,
I know people who've never they think they've been poor because they couldn't afford certain bills when they were younger.
Yeah.
But then they've always known the mum and dad have got money and will just pay it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you find a way. It's like, no, you find a way by asking. You've never been in a position where your mum and dad are equally as skint as you are.
Yeah.
Like, they've never been in that. Like, and you just,
or they're asking you for money for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like, it's just mentalness where it's like, yeah, you don't understand that because you think you've been poor. You think you struggled because you didn't have enough money at the end of the month, 1 month.
Yeah.
And you've called your dad and asked him for a bit of money and he's helped you out and you think that's what struggling is. So you think everyone who says they struggled is in the same position as you are.
Well, it's people that say like, we're going to New York, we really can't afford it. Well, you clearly can. You're going to New York.
You're going to New York.
You paid for it, so you clearly can afford it.
So, but you must have grown up fairly well off if you lived in a castle.
Well, it was a juxtaposition because it was my grandmother's money. So it wasn't my dad's money, so she paid for everything. I only discovered that after my dad got disinherited and we were cut off and literally went overnight from a castle to a caravan. So,
was it a big castle, nice big one?
Was it a big caravan?
It was like a big...
yeah. Right. the size of it.
2 weeks in a caravan and then 6 months in a log cabin.
So, it was a static caravan, but I think you call them houses.
But yeah, I had a absolutely bonkers, eccentric upbringing. I mean,
how mad like
comedy.
So,
insanely
was you
mad.
like proper posh then growing up?
Yeah, I mean, surrounded by proper posh cunts. Do you know what I mean? People called Rumpty Lowther Pinkerton.
No.
I went to private school when I was 14, so second.
So same as me then.
Second, third year. Third and fourth year.
Yeah, so same as me then. I went third year, fourth year, fifth year, got kicked out lower sixth.
Right, I left at the end of fourth year.
Sure to mention you got kicked out there.
Always got.
But first year I wanted to go to Catholic school because I wanted to be a Catholic.
Did you have servants in your castle?
We did have people who worked for us. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you treat them terribly?
Oh God, yeah. No. So Mary Flanders, who was our housekeeper.
Ned Flanders' missus.
She was my other mother, Mary.
That's what she did
If it
after
wasn't for
leaving the
her, I
show.
wouldn't have eaten. My parents were very eccentric, bonkers, and my dad was creative.
Is that just because they were allowed to be?
Yeah,
of course.
Think about anything.
No worry about money, so they're just allowed to be.
And I think as well, I mean, the thing was...
The jobs my cousins have had.
I remember still living in a castle though, but the electricity would get cut off and there was debt collectors at the door and stuff. I mean, my dad was shit with the money that he was given.
No money, or just because he forget to pay it?
Eh?
Is that because there was no money, or just he forget to pay it?
You would never know with Dad, really.
Right.
He used to call, what did he just call debt collectors? Little men in brown suits.
Wow.
I love
Such
that.
a posh way of describing them.
Yeah.
You have got like the poshest Scottish accent I think I've ever heard.
And I sound really Scottish in comparison to all my brothers and sisters.
Right.
So
I would say you sound really Scottish, but maybe that's just my naive.
You don't think she sounds Scottish?
No, he does.
I think she sounds quite Scottish.
Oh, she's quite Scottish. I think you sound Scottish but posh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm that much of a snob. I can't see posh in Scottish.
But it's like anything. When I'm in Glasgow, then I'll talk a lot more like that. So you'll be
Yeah, and
able
I'm
to
like that
fucking
with
understand.
Scousers. When I'm around Scousers, I get more
arse.
Scouse.
Yeah.
Nah. But yeah, I think because of the roller coaster kind of upbringing and weird things that have happened, I think that's what makes people kind of
interesting.
And
how was it going down
coping up with
drastically
things
in lifestyle then?
Do you know the most interesting thing?
That's something a lot of people can't do, innit?
So my dad was a writer, and then actually
Was he a writer though?
Yeah, he was. He was pretty good.
Not that good. He lost his house.
Yeah. Well, no, because he gained it back. After we got kicked out of the castle, and then we're floating for a while.
Right.
Kicked out of the castle.
In a caravan.
What? Can we ask why he got kicked out? Anything? Like
No. Just because there was no money to pay for it, so we got evicted. So we didn't. My grandmother was renting the castle for us.
Right.
So in Perth.
Yeah. So did she
Rahallan.
die and the money? Or did he have a fall?
So Granny left all the money to my dad's youngest brother, who was a spoiled
How was
brat.
Granny rich?
Granny's family were in flax, which is
The seeds?
yeah, jute and flax and all that kind of stuff. So,
old
and they owned half of Perthshire.
Old money.
It's always proper landed gentry.
Farming.
Yeah, farms, cottages, raspberry fields.
I went to school with a girl. Still in love with her to this day.
Oh, first love.
No, she was just fucking fit as fuck.
This is a public one, by the way.
I know. But I'm in
There's
school.
no paywall behind this
I'm in
one.
school, but
this is going
No
out to
paywall to
everyone.
hide behind here, Bob. You're exposed.
He always
Got a
laughs.
Patreon mindset. 6 o'clock, the Patreon gets
All of my
juice
stories
comes
start with, before I met me beard, this happened.
Yeah. And whenever he talks about something sexually, he has to go, it was when I was in college. He always has the caveat.
It's like muscle memory. When it was in college. Like she's
No.
jolting him from off camera.
It's the beard that I absolutely fucking fancied in school, and her name was Anna. I fucking
She got
loved
kicked
her.
out of school though, yeah.
Yeah, the school I got kicked out.
Did you get?
Yeah,
I left of my own accord.
Her father was mushrooms. Mushrooms, hers was. You couldn't have a mushroom in Europe that didn't come from her farm.
Wow.
It's like, it didn't matter what was on the packaging. If you bought a mushroom in Europe, it come from her farm. Like,
How did
Just made me fancy it even more.
did you research that at all?
Or did you just ask her and she told you?
Every mushroom bought in Europe is from her farm.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah,
And you just believed anything this
See,
woman
just
said.
take everything at face value.
Yeah, all mushrooms do come from your farm, don't they?
Anything she'd have said to me, I'd have believed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rob was just looking at her tits.
Yeah.
she had amazing.
She was
that,
like,
love? Mushrooms,
"Watch this,
yeah.
I can make this
Nice
lad
one.
believe anything."
Yeah, probably what
Hey,
it was.
Rob, I own all the mushrooms in Europe. Do you?
Hey, Rob, me nipples and mushrooms. Sounds delicious.
I was going to try and make a
bless
mushroom
you.
knob joke, but I can't be asked. Anyway, so...
You get
Just want
the
to let everyone know
idea.
you're there.
Yeah. Just, it's there.
there, he's seen it.
Build it
That's the
yourself.
setup. You put it together, you lazy twat. Do we have to come up with all the entertaining chat?
How was it going down from such a...
Well, like I say, because I feel like I've been in every class system now.
Right.
Yeah.
But Because my dad then he did
Like
write a book. There was he's like fucking what's going on. My dad sold a book that made quite a lot of money, and then we moved into quite a nice mansion in outside Edinburgh.
Right.
So
sorry, just his shit joke. What book was it? Kama Sutra.
Said it quietly. I didn't want to say it, but I wanted to do it anyway. Go on. So you went from.
So so the finance kind of went up and down and round about.
Right.
So, but what was interesting in the time where we were in between large properties, a lot of people fucking disappeared. You know, in terms of there was a lot of people used to come and stay at Raleigh, and then suddenly, where are these people? And then they kind of know. Then they come knocking, and such a in terms of being quite a young kid at that time, recognizing really early on how fickle and fucking disingenuous people are, which is what's interesting about this business, because I can see people a mile off. I go, I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You see everybody that's trying to, for whatever reason, they want to get alongside somebody, or you know. But then it's ended up having what I call career limiting honesty, is what I have.
Yeah.
Because it pisses a lot of people off. But then people shouldn't ask my fucking opinion.
Castles.
People shouldn't ask my opinion on things if they don't want me. Well, no, if they don't want me to tell them what I actually think.
I agree with that. I'm
you know,
the same.
do
you not bite your tongue at all?
No.
At all?
No.
Wow.
That's good, that. I think as long as a person is asking them for that feedback, though, I think it's absolutely fine.
I wouldn't. I don't go look at. No,
exactly.
If I think something about someone and I didn't particularly like them, I wouldn't go up and go, I don't like you.
Because now I want to go, what do you think?
We're all sitting thinking, right, what can we ask him? But it's not you.
What do you think of me, Jojo?
Have you listened to this podcast before?
I haven't. No.
He's lucky.
Of course she hasn't.
Don't have to listen to it. Tell you
do you know, if I'm genuinely honest, I didn't actually know what the podcast was called, and I had to message Gareth Much and go, I'm doing a podcast with Rob Thomas and Simon Wozniak. What's it called? And he went, it's called Another One. And I was like, oh, cheers, mate.
Why did you type it like he just researched it as well? He's
talking to you in real life, but he still does that. It's called
who did you message? Gareth who?
Much, who's my soon-to-be son-in-law.
Is he a fan of the show?
Gareth?
I think, he listens to loads of podcasts. So he has 2 G's in a pod. Gareth Much and Gareth Ward do a podcast called 2 G's.
I know Gareth Ward.
Why do I know Gareth Much?
I've seen his name.
He's doing Tom Stay's tour support at the moment.
Right. I've seen his name, but you will have recognised. Yeah, it's
probably.
He's fucking my daughter.
That's
what's.
Is he?
Yeah, he's about. Well, he's going to marry her.
Your daughter, the 19-year-old, the 31-year-old?
26-year-old. I've got 4
4
kids.
Oh, 4?
Just the 4, mate.
You used to have 2 in the house with you?
Yeah.
Are the 4 from the same fella? Or?
No.
So 2 previous?
Well, was married before, had 3 kids, and then married his brother. So had.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot that you married his brother.
Just going a bit like a Keris
I know.
episode. How you doing, Adam? Okay.
There are lots. There are so many. I think I've lived about 9 lives. Yeah.
That just feels a bit much. That.
Does it?
I don't feel a bit. By the way.
It's very judgy of you. Well, why is it a bit much?
I don't mean a bit much as in like
Gareth much
betrayal. It just feels a bit much as in like. Couldn't be arsed with them dealing with the same family.
Yeah, the 4.
No, like the fucking in-laws sort of thing.
Do you know what?
Christmas.
It's like, fuck that. Like,
but it does save on admin because I didn't have to change my surname.
Right.
Yeah. And same grandparents.
Is Sutherland your stage name or your actual?
Sutherland's my actual
surname.
My birth name. Yeah.
All right.
So,
how did that happen? How did that happen?
How did I end up marrying his brother?
Ryan Giggs, innit?
This feels like more like therapy than anything else.
We don't like laughter on this podcast, Jojo. We like
my first husband was an alcoholic wife beater, and then I thought, do you know what? Let's see if his brother's any better.
And he was just a wife beater.
He doesn't drink.
Hopefully he's just an alcoholic. I can deal with that. Yeah. Who doesn't like a bevy?
No, he doesn't drink actually. No.
Yeah. His brother was a bit slower, so I could dodge them ones. It was fine.
But yeah, weirdly, whenever I kind of do tell people this, I go, "You
like
are
Tyson Fury and Tommy Fury.
What were you
shit house? It's fine."
But you can't help but fall in love with it. And actually, I was really good mates with his brother. And then after I divorced his brother, he was still staying in touch with the kids and all this kind of stuff. It was 4 years after I divorced my first husband that I then married.
And what is the relationship like between them two now?
Non-existent, but then nobody speaks to him. No. They were never. In fact, my second brother.
The plot's going to thicken even more now. They've got like the
cut
same
me a slice of that plot.
Yeah.
Alan, who was my second, did say to me before I married his brother, "You sure you want to marry him?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Who, the second one?
The second one.
Right.
And then
he was a bit like, "You sure?" Like,
yeah, he was like,
right.
I don't know. You should.
Do they have the same dad?
Same mum and dad, yeah.
Right.
So he said to you about not marrying
the first brother.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Because he wanted you.
All along.
I think so about that.
So
Maybe there was
a
real
nice.
slow game.
Real slow.
Then after you split up, he thought, right, I'll have to wait 4 years and then I'll make me move.
I gotta wait for one World Cup to pass. Yeah.
And we are. I mean, I know we separated in lockdown, but it's just he wants to go slower. I want to go faster.
Did you ever get a bit bitter? Be like, oh, you're just like your fucking brother.
No, because he wasn't. He was completely different.
Yeah, but you throw it in anyway, don't you?
And what do the kids think of that dynamic of? Are they like, oh?
It was weird. I'm not going. Do you know what I mean? Of course it is.
Because if your uncle is now your dad, your stepdad,
my children are cousins.
But if they, so
I've got some
siblings.
family where it's like where like people have to go like, hang on, they're not related, like they're married, but there's some link somewhere along the line.
Absolutely.
No, the best.
I'm Auntie Mummy.
The best is when. My favourite is when like
Uncle Daddy and
there's a 30-year-old.
Good name for a show, isn't it? Or porn film, I don't know.
That's confusing with all the current climate around sex, Jay.
I used to love it in school.
We've got Uncle fucking Mummy and Auntie Daddy.
How do you identify as sister niece?
Cousin it.
Yes.
Right. So.
Yeah.
What's it like for the kids?
The kids were, do you know what? They were absolutely cool because they absolutely loved their, Uncle Alan. They used to call him Uncle Monkey.
When was Uncle Monkey and their dad relationship end?
Well, they'd never got on, really.
Uncle Monkey suspect.
Really, isn't it? Because he gets called Monk now.
I mean, if my kids started calling my brother Uncle Monkey, I'd go, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That's the nickname the papers gave him.
He's a cheeky monkey.
Cheeky monkey. But yeah, they never got on, so there was no love lost there at all.
I'm just wondering how much they saw Uncle Alan before he become dad.
See, they've never called him dad. They've always called him Monk because they shortened Uncle Monkey to Monk. And then people then go, when I call him Monk, people go, was he in the priesthood?
It's a dangerous nickname to give someone,
isn't it? Monk.
Yeah.
It's just a dangerous nickname to give, I think. Just
feels nasty.
just
it sounds like
you
a
say
condition.
that in public and you're thinking, maybe this isn't a great one.
No,
like
absolutely.
Army Monk's playing up. That's
Anyway,
but the kids get on great. And although Finn, who's the youngest, she used to have these like feud, just as siblings do, but she used to fight with Ailey all the time. And then if she was wanting to win an argument, she'd be like, "You're not my sister anyway, you're just my cousin." That was her winning ways.
Yeah.
Like, then slam the door.
So what was it like going down to, you're saying you went like just poor as anything?
Yeah, I ended up being made bankrupt. I had my house repossessed and back in the Thatcher years, thanks very much.
Right.
When they moved which is happening now again. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Percentage rates were 8% when we bought our first house, and then within 18 months went up to 15%, got repossessed. All the houses got bought up by unscrupulous landlords, and now we have unregulated rents. But and the council housing stock was sold off. However,
have fun subtitling that.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've gone through all kind of levels of
Well, like when you go down,
poverty
going from like you living in a nice place, everything's and then you're struggling to pay.
Yeah.
Like that can be pretty.
Well, that's it. And I think because, do you know what? I think when things happen to you as a child and you've got no control over it, that's what happened.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't.
Go with it, yeah.
And, I was born in the 60s.
Kids
This was the 70s. You don't really get told much either. I mean, I did not know we were moving out Raleigh until the bloody van turned up. It was like, where are we going?
Wow.
I was like, well, so you
like
just...
kids in World War II going to the
pretty much.
fields.
The communication was shit.
Exactly like that.
They didn't know.
Come on, leave the castle now.
Yeah.
You're getting marched out by the Third Reich.
We're off to the station.
But I think it is all the different experiences I've had in my life. So it's like growing up in a castle, married my ex-husband's brother, I've been bankrupt,
it's almost like you seek out weird things.
I'm beginning to think it might be me. I mean, I'm surrounded by death. All people drop dead around me. I had a brain hemorrhage. Yeah, I mean, hello.
Well,
so
did they have to operate?
They they had to shave my fanny, which when you're having
first day,
Some Scottish smackhead.
I've got a headache. Get your kicks off.
when you're having a brain hemorrhage and someone's shaving your fanny, you are going.
Yeah. Well, it was of its time, that operation, was it?
I'm not going here while she's got that.
Trying to lift its brain tumour away.
Mrs. Sutherland, this is actually more of a fashion statement, but you'll thank us when you wake up.
I genuinely, it was like, it blew my mind. It's so you can have an angiogram, they inject dye into your brain and they go through the groin. Okay. But I don't actually remember anyone explaining that to me, so I was in absolute...
You did have a brain hemorrhage at the time.
Unbelievable agony, just lying there.
An orgasm.
Yeah, just going, this is not...
They put a stint. They put it. My dad had the brain hemorrhage.
Yeah, you want an out-of-date curry to
survive. Right, yeah, they put coil in your head.
Did they shave his pubes?
And he went off from his... I don't know. I never asked.
Did he shave his ass first?
I never asked.
Turn him over.
I should
get the lawnmower out.
My kids had such fun afterwards because I had a bruise from about there up to here from the angiogram, and whenever people kind of come and visit me and see if I was all right, and they were going, "Mom, show them their bruise," and everyone's going like that, looking at my head. I'm like,
"Oh,
surprise!" What's like the recovery time for that then?
It's about 6
brain
months.
Hemorrhage, 6 months. Wow. Are you like? Can you get up?
How bad was it?
Absolute fucking agony. I've never felt pain like it. So I think I said at the time I'd rather be giving birth simultaneously to all three of my children.
Why was a brain thing?
Genetic. So they put a coil. They put a thing in your groin and it inject dye.
I know they do like the heart through the groin.
So they do the same with the brain.
Do they?
So they inject dye into your brain so they can see where it's.
Why?
My dad got to put like a stint. I think it's called like a little coil.
But why is it the groin? What is it about the groin that gets?
I don't know. There must be some main artery up. There's main artery up to your brain.
Nice clear passage.
Yeah. And then they inject dye, and then they can see that shows up on the screen where the bleeding's occurred. Yeah, well, because it burst at the bottom of the eye.
So your recovery, could you get up? Were you bedbound or could you move?
I was in hospital for. Do you know what? I can't actually remember. A lot of it is a blur, and I remember being at home because I lived in a place called South Queensferry, and I used to work as a wedding coordinator at a castle. The irony that I didn't fucking own. And the caterers, I'm honestly, I am not over
it's like
it.
You told everyone you ever met when you were there. I used to live in a castle as well.
I used to live in a castle.
Yeah, it's a bit bigger than this, actually.
Certainly. I don't need to do that. I do need to do this. I really do. But the caterers for the castle that I worked at...
Only your mum had a bit of nous and shagged your dad's brother instead.
But they were brilliant. So there was a company called Pinkerton. They made me all these food dishes and just packed my freezer full of foods, and then people would come in and stick it in the microwave, feed the kids, and I think somebody took the kids. I honestly don't remember, but I was in bed for a long time. 34. So yeah, and I started comedy at 36 because there's nothing like a brain hemorrhage to make you think you're funny.
When did you was it on the cards doing stand up? Do you ever think or like?
Yeah.
So what made you do it then? So like
the brain hemorrhage.
Pretty much the brain hemorrhage. I kind of.
She went mental.
But surely, like 33, you were thinking, what? Were you just constantly always thinking, what can I do? Like, what can I do?
Well, but so I was divorced from my first husband. By that point, I used to.
How long was you married to your first husband for?
7 years. I think we were together about 10.
So you got married young then?
Yeah, so I was 23 when I got married.
Right.
And yeah, so I was well divorced by 33.
Well, so when you started at 36, but then you said you had absolutely no interest or anything in. So
I trained as an actor when I left school. So I left school at 16 and went to not even a proper drama college. It was like a college, Glasgow Arts Centre, and did a 2-year course, and then wanted to be an actor. It was like, oh, and then I got married, had kids. Do you know what I mean? Got beaten up. So I was like, and worked in pubs and bars and restaurants and wedding coordinating, all that kind of stuff. But then having the brain hemorrhage, and it sounds wanky as hell, and I appreciate that, but it is. It just is one of those things. It really, because by the time when I had the brain hemorrhage, I was on my own with 3 kids on income support. Do you know what I mean? I had no fucking money. I'd been made bankrupt. I had my house repossessed. I was mentally not very well, having been in quite an abusive relationship for a long time. And so when that happened, it was just like, oh, fuck, okay, this is not a dress rehearsal.
But had you been to see comedy beforehand?
Never been in a comedy club. Didn't want to be a comedian. I wanted to go back into acting. I was like, right, I want to go back and do, it makes you selfish, but not in a bad way. I don't think selfish is a bad word. It was just like, it has to be about me. I've got, I want to be happy and I want to do something with my life. And the last thing I remember, the last thing I remember being really happy at was acting. And I saw an advert in the List magazine, I don't think it even exists anymore, for a comedy course at Strathclyde University in Glasgow. And it was a 10-week course, free because I was on income support. So 2 hours a week. And I did that and I fucking loved it. So we did a 5-minute, like every comedy course, 5 minutes.
Who was your tutor?
It was meant to be 5G,
Raymond
but
Mays.
it wasn't. It was a guy called Charlie. Oh my God, because he doesn't do comedy anymore. No.
Oh shit, no, he's not.
Charlie.
I was thinking of Charlie.
Charlie Ross.
Charlie Ross. Right.
But I remember Des McLean was one of the comics that came and spoke to us one week.
Oh, yeah.
And then the first gig I did wasn't even unsuspecting public. It was friends and family, kind of like a closed group.
Yeah, most of them are, yeah.
And I did 5 minutes, and I genuinely, that was December 2001. And I fell in love with it. I thought it was the fucking best thing since sliced bread.
Did you?
Yeah. And I still love it. So it was nearly 21, so 21 years ago. In fact, my 21st, that will be in December this year.
Oh. Are you going to be gigging for that?
I will be at the Stand Edinburgh for New Year.
Lovely.
Your kid's going to be there?
I hope not.
That was a weird
Probably not.
Just thought you'd go and see your mum do comedy.
Oh, they do. And in fact, my youngest has set up a charity gig next Sunday that me, Tom Stade, and I shouldn't say that's a surprise, and Gareth Much are doing. So it's a family affair.
Yeah, but he's got to, and he's got to make the family.
Yeah, what's the dynamic like with you and Gareth Much?
Well, it's odd because he's gone from being my mate in comedy, and he's still my mate.
Did he meet your daughter through you?
Yeah, because my daughter is one of the managers at the Stand in Edinburgh.
Oh, is she? Right.
So,
can she get me in with them?
Yeah.
She can't get anybody. It's
right, podcast's over.
I know, exactly.
She can't get us on, lads.
Yeah,
No, I don't think she has any sway.
Yeah.
I'm one of the resident compers, and I don't have any sway, so
no,
I don't know.
Stands notoriously difficult to break into.
That seems quite nice. I actually, and I do notice that a lot of comedians' kids are involved in comedy.
Because they've just brought up with it. They've got nothing else, poor bastards.
The idea of like me watching my dad do comedy sickens me.
Really?
Yeah. My mum said I'm gonna do a stand-up gig. I'd be like, don't you fucking dare.
Yeah.
You fucking not with my name, you're not. Change your fucking name.
What made you all decide to get into comedy? Because everybody has a story of why they did it.
Just what's the point in being alive?
Daddy issues.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah,
There's
I like
shit in it. Like 22, can't be arsed working for a living. This is all bollocks.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point in being alive? I might as well try stand-up before I kill myself. That was literally my thing. I'll try stand-up before I kill myself at least. Yeah. And then I tried it. Then I realised it wasn't that bad dying. And then I just went and died for 2 years, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Because you think, I could never do it. You get on, you do it, you die, you get off, and it's like no one gives a shit. It's like fine.
Nobody remembers. No one.
So that's why I did it really. And I saw Ricky Gervais's outtakes, but apart from that, just thought, look, it's a great way to earn a living in it. But I've discussed that all the time. What made you want to do it?
I did a course.
You did a course?
Yeah, but I did it in uni.
Okay, yeah,
I think there's quite as well, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I've never been an actor.
Yeah, but you'd always put stuff out. You'd done skits and
I've done skits and
sketches. Drama, that's acting.
I did drama. If it wasn't comedy, I probably have tried to do something serious with acting because I've got quite a unique look, and I know that there's productions that wouldn't be able to use
Christmas time. You could have been successful.
I could have been a pant dwarf in a fucking
I could have been a star.
Yeah. Oh God, I'd rather be one of them midgets who gets handcuffed to a fucking bride. Walk around with them in a fucking nappy all night.
You're tall.
I know, yeah.
Do you reckon
the tallest dwarf in the West?
You know the ones.
How tall are you?
5'1". A lofty 5'1".
What is the official dwarfism height?
I think it's under 5 foot, definitely. Because that's how you qualify for one of them
cars. So you don't even get any benefits?
Don't get one of the cars.
Wow.
Pisses me off.
You know them dwarfs?
Have to get a normal automatic like the rest of us. Have to fucking awkwardly reach for the pedals and that. Get pulled over by the police every 5 minutes.
Like that the whole time.
You're like, do you want me to park that for you, Adam? Yeah, don't move the seat. It took me about 10 minutes to adjust it to the way I like it.
It's funny though, isn't it? Comedy courses are really kind of, quite a lot of comics poo-poo them and look down their noses at them. And you kind of go in. I think largely because most comedy courses are run by people who should never be allowed to go near comedy. Oh, really, Rob? Do you run a comedy course? Do you genuinely?
People every now and then.
I work for a charity that does comedy courses.
You still owe me 70 quid for that.
No.
Oh, hello.
I don't owe you 70 quid. I've told you to invoice, and every time I speak to you, you go,
I don't know to
whatever.
Oh, has he been to do a class with you?
He stepped in one for me. Basically, I you know Sam Avery?
Yes.
He runs a thing called a comedy trust.
Yeah.
And I do courses for them. So they're always like themed, funded courses mainly. So it'll be like
depressed dads.
At the moment it's military veterans. we've done depressed dads.
Yeah.
Depressed
I used to do something similar. I worked for a thing called Universal Comedy, and we used comedy as a tool for people with mental health issues.
Basically that's all it is.
Yeah.
So at the moment
I think is actually I do think they're really a good idea.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different. I'm not selling people that they can be
comedian.
That they can be comedians.
No.
Just people like doing this bucket list sort of things and stuff.
I don't think you can teach someone to be a comedian. I think you can give people, do you know what I mean, an idea and a flavour and a bit
them
of
for trying to become one. Well, like I said to him, if I just teach a course, I'd go into them and go, right, who can drive?
Yeah.
And if you can't drive, you'd be better off spending the next 6 months learning to drive.
Yeah.
But even them comedy courses though, half of them are just filled with people who want to do it once. Like a bucket list thing. Yeah. Like the depressed dads, I think there was 2 lads.
Please tell me that.
Sounds like a horrible history's book.
Depressed dads was on the poster.
I think it was dads with postnatal depression.
How on earth did they get that?
Listen, we all
Jojo.
We all suffer it, Joe. You don't know what it's like, right?
I know.
You don't have to provide when the responsibility's on you. Live in a patriarchal society that looks to men to provide, and you held this child in your arms. You're thinking, what the fuck am I going to do now?
That's why I don't want kids.
Do you know what? I genuinely agree with that actually, because women do get the chance, obviously, to go through pregnancy and get time to adjust and their hormones. For you guys, it's just a change of circumstance. Which is, I mean, it really is. You go from, there's no real kind of build-up emotionally or physically for you.
Yeah, build-up's a good word because, I mean, for women, you could argue that the whole pregnancy thing is the build-up to becoming a parent.
Yes,
so they've got a little
chemical change.
Chemical change. And you're feeling something's growing inside you. Do you know what I mean? And you're, so your actual physical behaviour and emotional behaviour changes. Which just
get money.
Literally changes circumstance.
Get money in it.
There is a skill. The minute you hold your child, the minute your child's there, you're like, I've got to grow up now. I've got to
So what happened?
This now.
He grew out.
He left.
I realised I was brave enough to fuck off. No, fucking had to just fucking start working hard. It was a pain in the ass.
This happened, Jojo.
Okay.
Another one happened.
You're sitting in it. You're sitting in it.
Come up with ideas to make fucking money.
Fucking get viral, will you? Take that weird life. Say something fucking viral and let me provide. If you don't say something viral, my kid doesn't eat, Jojo. So fucking get deep, will you?
Get this clip popping.
What the fuck, mate? I don't understand.
Kerashag the Dwarf. You ever done one of them?
Oh, I saw that clip. I did actually look at. I did do a bit of research. Why has that become such a dirty word through the whole COVID? Oh, do your research? Like actually finding stuff out is a bad thing.
Well, you say that though, but I'm doing a podcast Wednesday, and he told me on Saturday, I'll message you with the talking points that we're going to talk about, and I literally looked at it and went, I am not reading that message.
No.
So I'm going to turn up on what we talk about. I will find out on the
like
day.
That radio thing that they sent me through. They went, here's a list of questions. I was like, I'm not reading them. And then she asked me them and I went, I don't know to all of the questions.
Yeah.
I went, don't know what it'd be. He goes, if you had to be an animal, what would you be? I don't know. All right, see you later. See ya.
Sounds like a fucking Alan Partridge interview.
I'm not giving any energy to this thing no one's going to listen to. So they go, if you wanted to be an animal, what would you rather be this size but a big one, or this size but a small one?
Like the clip's going to blow up because you said you want to be a penguin.
I'm not.
But I'm always amazed at what does blow. Keris Nelms, she's a risk taker. I loved it. Do you know what I mean? She's shagging everything.
Great, isn't she?
But what constitute? Why? I just don't understand how.
You never know.
Isn't
it
weird? Because we have all seen the same video at some point. Go, oh yeah, we've all seen that, and then something else, and nobody sees it. It's
all the stuff I post and think this is going to go mega, and then it goes nowhere, and some random thing just goes fucking off, and you're like,
just do the random things then. Don't put so much thought into it. Just do things.
That's exactly what happened to me. In fact, it was when I was moving out my house and I switched off the Wi-Fi and didn't have any signal, and so for 2 days I had no idea that a throwaway line that I say to every audience, with if they're from Scotland, I was down in London, and it was about Falkirk. It was like, oh, Falkirk's where pigeons fly upside down because there's nothing worth shitting on. 2.2 million.
That's dead funny.
It is, but apparently it's necked. I didn't even know that. I've always said it.
I thought that was like one of them common jokes, like Tenerife, 11 Reef.
No, but yeah. So I genuinely did think it was my joke, but I've been informed that it's in a film from 30 years ago. But anyway.
Oh, right.
But fuck it.
Funny.
Yeah, but they probably got it from somewhere.
I know exactly. Man, it's not like it's part of my set. It's just
some funny cunt said it in a pub, and it's just fucking taken off him.
And it's one of those things. It's a throwaway line that I use occasionally. Do you know what I mean? Like the toolbox that we all have.
When I see videos like that, right, I don't think, mental, why has that person got 2.1 million views for that clip? I don't think that. I think that is such a good, funny joke that it's worth 2.1 million people looking at it. It doesn't matter who tells it.
No, exactly. But yeah, it was just interesting that it happened. Yeah, purist.
What a load of fucking bullshit that was.
Shut the fuck up.
All you've done there is got jokes everywhere.
Basically, you've got 5 million views on some scally video.
Empty the drawer in the
original
hall.
and the least.
But you know what?
Who cares?
5 years ago, that was original.
I tell you what, it's like. It's one of those jokes. Although I haven't heard anybody else on the circuit use it, but it is one of those jokes. Like, oh, my dad's in, or do you know what I mean? That everybody, and there's, and
always
I'm looking at all of you. Everybody does it,
Yeah.
Not well, yes, everybody does.
If you don't know who it is, it's you. That's another one, isn't it?
Yes.
So what are you doing now, living wise?
I packed everything that I wanted to keep from my house. I got rid of all the furniture, beds, everything. Yeah. Sentimental stuff. I basically moved all the things that I wanted to keep. Yeah. Into my ex-husband's house. I've just moved everything into his apart from me. Yeah. And then I've got basically using my car as a big massive suitcase for the next 3 months and just travelling around staying with mates. I've got keys to about 8 people's houses.
Proper nomad.
Then I'm going to Australia for 3 months, Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne. And then when I come back, I'm going to buy a motorhome. Maybe Daryl Martin's.
Oh, yeah.
So
a boat?
A motorhome.
Motorhome.
Yeah.
Right. Like a caravan.
Not a caravan. Drive. Yeah, going back to my roots.
Yeah. Isn't that what a motorhome is?
You're going to buy a motorhome?
No, caravan gets dragged behind a car, doesn't it? Motorhome is drive it.
Okay. You're going to buy a motorhome and use it for gigs as well?
Yeah, I'm just going to go from gig to gig.
It's just going to be your actual vehicle as well as your home.
Yeah, so it'll be my gig vehicle. And also because gigs still give you hotels and stuff, so I'll still, still
Do you
take that
really
off.
think you'd like to live in a motorhome
100%.
Where'd you get your post? Did you get
I've registered everything at my recently divorced. Well, I'm not divorced. We just split up.
Is there like somewhere like a post office that you can get?
I think you get a PO box.
Yeah, you can get a PO box, can't you? It does cost money to have a PO box, but I don't think it's much.
It's cheap, like
So, but I'm going to live in the. And then if I hate it, then I'll go and I'll find somewhere. Get a flat somewhere.
What post? Yeah, you need to have.
Yeah, get leaflets for.
But whilst the world's going to hell in a handcart, I don't want to be any fucking part of it. So keep your cost of living crisis and ram it up your fucking arse.
Keep your energy.
Yeah, Bulb genuinely, when I did the final account, we went, so long, thanks for the wild ride. It's like,
who said that?
Bulb Energy.
Fucking corporations that try and talk to you like
they're trying to be funny and wacky.
I hate that. Do you know what started that? Wendy's on Twitter when they started slagging off Burger King and that. And that was funny, but now all companies are being a bit more like, hey, we're your mate.
But that's the thing. Their PR and everything, they think that humour is the thing to kind of sell their products.
Yeah. And when that works, it's great. But when that doesn't work, it's the opposite. I hate this company now. I want nothing to do with them.
This morning, giving away 4 months free energy is very funny.
What?
That's just, it's so unbelievable.
So massively, like,
it's like so.
You've missed it.
It's so misjudged. It's wow.
4 months.
4 months.
Did you not see that?
Like,
no.
It's like what?
So you know the way everyone hates Holly and Phil now.
I'm going to the toilet.
Oh, because they allegedly Q jumped.
Well, the thing is, again, the media are missing the point. Everyone thinks they hate them because of the Q jump, but it started when the cost of living crisis come out, and they made one of their games was like a spin the wheel thing, and the thing that you could win was 4 months free energy for your home. So they'll pay
not even a year.
They'll pay your bills for 4 months, and that was the prize. It was like
so patronising, isn't it? And just kind of
it's so misjudged.
There.
So
you poor little people.
That started the whole fucking fuck Holly, fuck Phil sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then the Q jump happened, and that's why the Q jump just went woof, because everyone had this sort of bit of resentment just there already. Apparently, there's talk of her walking away. She's not happy, is she?
But then here's the thing, they'll come back now. Is they go, well, the media thing now is that, you know, like the whole Caroline Flack thing was like, if we harm them, and then Holly goes and does something stupid. So everyone's like, it's almost like you can get away with shit now, and then it's kind of like, go, right, well, don't need to really rip them now because they couldn't top them. So it's kind of like, it's like...
the media wants that, doesn't they, really?
But then it's everybody just walking on eggshells, pussyfooting around each other. That's all that's happened now. That's the same in comedy. People try to second guess what they think people are going to be offended at, so they don't say anything other than boring, bland bullshit.
You're just going to be fucking boring, aren't you?
Yeah.
Second guess.
That's what's happening. So
just say it and just fucking see what happens, innit?
A lot of comics are spineless cunts. They really are. No, they are.
Names.
Where's me left?
Names. That's how honest
they
you are.
Know who they are. Oh, it is that thing though. I just find there's a lot of that kind of saying what people think other people want to hear, and
but that's been around that's been around for a while.
I think the whole thing with the comics thing. My theory is I don't necessarily think comics don't want to say it. I think it's they think that. Because there's so many comedians and so fewer gigs now, it's that if you do say something and it doesn't go well and that gig then doesn't smash, the promoter might look at it and go, it didn't go as well as the guy that smashed it by just doing, like, so it's like, you've got to let us try.
Have you seen anybody who at the moment is doing kind of really bland, kind of very easy going, no one's smashing it? I'm literally watching the audience going,
I think the risk is that, like, if it doesn't go well one night, but in order to try and make it work everywhere, you're going to have to go through a bit of a few crowds where it's going to get an all right reaction. And my theory on some lines that I've done is some people enjoy seeing the reaction of somebody not liking it, and that's funny to them.
Yeah.
So when you say something shocking, part of the funniness to that individual is seeing that person sat there going, you dickhead, and then they're going, oh, that's funny, like she's fuming. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the enjoyment of it. So, but then if you don't say anything that gets that, then you're not going to get anyone saying anything.
I know. I just think people are not being true to themselves. I think they're sort of trying to jump on a bandwagon or a soapbox.
I've seen a lot of people writing stuff for what do you think the audience is going to like.
Yeah.
But I like the whole truth. But then they've always done that. I don't think, like, that's the whole thing. I've not seen anyone change. I don't think. I think anyone who's doing that has always done that. So the kind of people who are doing that now are the same people who 10 years ago or 7, 8 years ago would go and stuff like, oh, the sex, and playing themselves down as a bit of like a like a sort of like a beta male or a sort of timid person, like, because they wanted the audience to feel sorry for them rather than like taking command. It was like that. I think they're the same people now who are the ones that are going, oh, you know, what's it like? Everyone wants to do this.
But I just find, I mean, how did you find? So when the Queen died, and then. Do you mean, I know it was Westminster Council that said that all venues and entertainment venues had to shut, but the comedy store shut. Yeah. And people was, then said, don't make jokes about the Queen. There was emails sent.
The Queen never meant they had to shut any venues.
No, but some venues did. Some venues did close.
Everywhere in Westminster had to close.
They had to close. They were told the store had to close.
Right.
But you're kind of going... That's when I kind of it fries my brain when you sort of, people are going, oh, where was I? Nottingham Glee.
I done jokes that night at the Queen.
I did as well, but you could feel the audience go, ooh, and going, but imagine as a comic, you got on stage and you didn't mention it. I mean, The idea that something is, you know,
it's like a fire alarm going off and not mentioning.
And so
just plowing on.
And so as comics, we're meant to hold a mirror up to society and kind of, you know, commentate and
I don't know.
what's
I
going
don't
on.
believe that either, though.
The thing I found funny about it is that you're at a comedy night, everybody there clearly doesn't give a shit. So like, it's like, if you're that upset about the Queen dying, you're not going. So why are we all sitting here now doing a round of applause when you've come for a laugh on the day the Queen's died?
Maybe there's some genuine idiots though who were like, oh, I could do with cheering up because the Queen's dead.
Well,
let's go and have a laugh.
Yeah. Or people went there going, I'm going to get fucking annoyed at this. They've generally gone there
my entertainment
to be a cunt.
Yeah, I get to be virtuous.
You disrespectful piece of shit. I couldn't give a shit about the Queen.
Works every day of her life.
I'll live down the parish hall. It's only 5 minutes away. I'll go ruin some comedians. Oh, you can't make jokes about the Queen.
I know. But it blew my mind that somebody even said that. Anyone said that. Anybody said, well, you know, just be careful. What? Fuck.
This conversation means we're going to lose 10 followers anyway.
Goodbye.
I did have a gig when for like
how many people do you? I'll ask you after this.
About 15,000.
15,000 people listen to this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't really say it. Like, listen to this.
This is this shite.
How that's incredible.
You've all got Union Jacks as the profile.
That is. That's impressive.
Massive racist.
That's really impressive.
Hey, listen. They deserve entertaining as well. All right. Just because they're patriotic, you prick.
That's why
why aren't you proud to be British, eh?
The patriots because the patriotic.
You melt.
You fucking liberal. With your curly hair.
White Cliffs of Dover were full. Cover photo, profile picture of your fucking dog. Legend.
No one wants to work anymore. That's the problem with this country.
Yeah.
How are you anyway, Adam?
I've got a UTI.
Yeah, I know you've got
an
Sounds like a DUI.
You're an traction infection or something.
Been putting his winky where it shouldn't be going.
Horrendously painful. It's horrible.
Is that the thing, the Green Mile? The guy in the Green Mile?
Yeah.
When he talks about it feels like
No, the Green Mile's kidney stones.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is it? I've had them as well.
Is this thing when you pee? Is that
what are you doing with your willy?
I'm just getting too dehydrated. I'm just getting too high and eating too many
It's
crisps.
really quite easy to fix that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just drink water, innit?
But when you're stoned
and
you're
so
full of
you're
crisps,
an idiot.
you're like, well, it's bedtime now. Full.
Idiot.
I'm drinking a pint of water. Like
Isn't it mad the way Jojo just turned into a mother?
Yeah.
You can drink some water. Stop being daft.
There's a proper sarcastic Scottish mum's answer that as well. You know there's a cure for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Irish.
That was Irish. Yeah.
I can't do
He's
Scottish.
just been telling everyone stupid and he's gone conscience and he's done an out.
I remember that one, didn't you? It was about an hour ago. Fucking notebook over here.
I love that conscience though.
So you've had kidney stones. Is this your first UTI or have you had UTIs
No,
before?
this is my first UTI. It's just as painful. I was in tears. I was trying to, because it stops you from being able to piss properly, but it also means that you feel the need to piss
all the
constantly.
time.
Oh my God.
So you just stood there, nothing's coming out, it's burning, and I'm just like crying into the toilets, just begging the fucking urine to get out my bladder. So it just feels so uncomfortable. Oh, it's horrible.
I would just stay in bed and just think, if I piss it, I piss it.
So
yeah, maybe.
What have you got to do to get it? Just loads of water.
Antibiotics.
Drink loads of water. Sometimes you have to go and get antibiotics. I don't want to do that.
Why?
So, because I want my body to be fucking good at fixing itself for the fucking impending nuclear
Right, you like me?
when the NHS falls.
You like me? Don't take no tablets or nothing.
I try not to.
I'll
take ibuprofen every now and then, but that's it.
I don't take nothing.
No, I take nothing because I don't think you shouldn't mask the pain.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's fucking living.
I take drugs, but that's purely for
headache
enjoyment.
Is fucking living.
No, get the paracetamol.
No, because you're just masking the pain.
Feeling the throb. Feel the throb and sit in it. Just fucking just
feel
know.
the throb and sit on it.
Just no sit in it. Just fucking enjoy it. Just go, this is living this.
Yeah, you should know what's happening.
You love throb and sit on it.
Yeah, the impending apocalypse. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking
You'll be alright. You can just fucking drive wherever you want.
Thank you very much. I mean, people do. Why? That's everything. Is the reason I'm going to go and live in a van.
Yeah. Are you going to bartering? You're going to have to barter for petty and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sell your ass.
Hey, I'll sell 5 arrows in my ass.
Jojo's on the game now.
We all will be.
Jojo's finally falling all the way.
You had a lovely night. I'll be over there selling my ass for 50 quid.
You want to follow me on social media to see me get my ass out next?
I'm 56.
I'll be at the back. There's a QR code here.
There's going to be a sex show after this if you want to stick around. You can all just
go a bit feral. I'm having a lovely time. Leave me alone.
Closing the section.
You fill me bank, I'll drain your balls.
So you got the UTI. So you're not going to get you're not getting the biotics.
Nope, I'm gonna stick it out.
And
to be honest, today is the first day in like about 4 days where it's like manageable. Because I had gigs at the weekend and I had to get the train, and because the trains are fucking shit in this fucking country, it took me until about 2 a.m. to get home each night. Just cancellations, delays. Oh, by the way, it's a bus now. All that bollocks. Strikes, which I'll always support, but you know I can still be annoyed about.
I don't know how anyone can do comedy without driving.
I know. It honestly blows my mind.
I'm going to have to learn to drive because it's getting tougher. It used to be quite easy a couple of years ago, but the trains are so bad now that I'm looking at lessons.
But I think as well, being able to drive, it just means that you can pick up extra gigs. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
It's just
Can you get a can you allow scooter on the motorway? No, like...
I'm coming spiking,
like
mate.
a Vespa.
We said that about Thingy, didn't we?
Vespa, can you get Vespas on the motorway or not?
No, could you?
Never seen one on there.
No,
not on the motorway.
No.
I have to get a motorbike then.
Although we did say to Keegan, didn't we, about getting a little scooter and getting there with his little scarf flapping with his goggles on, shrapnel flicking off his head,
bouncing off his head,
off the Ashby de la Zeus, just boom, reciting his set on you. Good to be the lap, good to be.
Smashing through the window when he gets
mouth full of tarmac when he turns up. Who's thinking? Wiping his eyes away.
He's got big white patches on his eyes. The rest of his face is just tar.
No, but I think when I've finished some gigs and I've got in the car and driving, I thought, this is depressing enough being in the car. I was thinking if I was
standing on a platform waiting for a train.
Broad Street station or something in Birmingham, freezing cold. Yeah. Waiting for 4 hours.
You just died on your ass. You just stand in front of the train.
Turn up at a horrible gig. Shitty thinking.
It's the drive over the stuff
I love the air of kind of suicidal threats on this couch. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Always that far away.
That's a very modern thing, isn't it? Because you know, when you were like our age, like 30 odds or whatever, it probably wasn't a thing to joke about killing yourself as much as we do.
No. My friends just did it.
Yeah,
really?
Exactly.
They didn't bother talking about it.
We just put it online because that's what we're going to do.
I mean, the really serious ones get on with it.
They just book a hotel room, kiss goodbye to the kids in the morning and go and hang themselves.
One last pat on the dog's head.
Oh, Miss, I'm too tight to book the hotel rooms.
You do it in an Airbnb for 19 quid.
I do a joke about the suicide because one of my best mates did hang
these kind of things, Joe.
But Joe McTiernan, they hung themselves.
Nice.
Joe McTiernan, and I do joke about that, the fact that tragedy plus time equals comedy, right? And then their sister, after 6 days, said, "Where do you think she learned to tie knots?" But when I wear
the rope over the belt.
I mean, it's a good knot. But when after I said
that's a good. For your sister to do that after 6 days.
Oh, was your sister? I thought you had your mate.
No, my sister, the sister of my mate. So my mate killed herself, and her sister said that.
It's funny that.
But after I split up with Monk, Joe McTiernan, who's another comic, was living with me lodging. And he genuinely did say, he was just like, what are you up to today? And I was like, I'm going to have a cup of tea, a bit of toast, and I'm going to hang myself in the bathroom. And then he genuinely was like, why are you bothering with the toast? And I love humour like that. Just saying, do you know what I mean? Because we all
got to have something nice before you go.
Yeah.
Like you, your steak.
Well, I think
got to treat yourself before you go.
Telling yourself, I'm going to kill myself now. It goes, you're putting out in the world that you're going to do it. So it's kind of like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then
so when you do it, you're like,
I know.
Don't be acting surprised.
People say to me, I can't now ever say I'm going to kill myself. I'll be livid.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be allowed to tell you what I want to kill myself today because life is so stressful.
And I think it kind of, in a warped kind of way, kind of cheers you up to go, do you know what? I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to throw myself over a bridge. And there's a sort of air of,
My older sister is like quite depressed. She's been depressed all of her life. And she talked to me about wanting to kill herself. And usually when it's your sister, you'd be a bit like, oh, don't do that. You've got so much to live for and all that bollocks. I just let her say it. And I think that makes her feel better.
Absolutely.
The fact that she could actually voice it.
I thought you were going to say, I agree with it.
I just tell her
I agree with it. Just
nothing to live for. I don't know why you're bothering. Really?
I feel the same, sis, but I just wish I was depressed. Like, honestly, wish I was fucking depressed so I could end it myself.
Louis C.K.'s got that great bit in his show about when he goes like the beige car. and he's just like, He's like, what is holding up this man's suicide? Like, it's a beige car. They've got bin bags for windows, and like, it's a beige car. No one wants a beige car, and he's just like looking and going like, you should kill yourself. Like, you should kill yourself. Why are you? What is holding up your suicide?
I'm very much of that mindset. I genuinely am. People say, I'm like, well, either kill yourself or get. You've got two choices: kill yourself or put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. I can't be arsed.
I'm a little bit. I'm the same, because you know when people like lose, like, I don't want to judge anyone who's listening, but when people like lose like the family, like you go, oh yeah, my wife and kids died in like a car crash and I'm still here. I sometimes think, why don't you fucking just kill yourself?
Yeah,
because that's what I'd do. If my wife and kids died tomorrow, I might have a week where I try shag a few brasses and that, and then I just kill myself.
Would you?
Yeah. What's the
Do you
point?
not believe in an afterlife? Do you believe in an afterlife?
Do you believe in an afterlife? No.
I believe in tax. Never mind an afterlife.
I have to pay him for it.
It's a cover charge.
Sort of, but not really, no.
Right. I was going to say,
I believe there's energies and shit like that.
It would make sense for you to want to kill yourself if you believe in an afterlife to meet them again.
Yeah, but also just think, well, what's the point now?
Because you're like 30-something.
What am I living for?
You can find someone else.
Well,
I always think it's too much.
I'm not like Jojo. I'm not going to fucking just keep going.
She got a sister.
Go work
your
with the whole
missus.
family. Yeah, it's only 14. I can't be asked waiting.
I just think, why you don't know what if there is anything, and I have no opinion on it either way. I just think might as well just stay on until the end.
And my thing,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. My thing is just
something might turn up.
It's not like I haven't had a good time anyway, so it's like, oh, all right, sound.
I think a big prison sentence might make me do it. I think I'd be like, I can't be asked being in here.
Yeah.
But 25 years in here, I think, fuck this.
Yeah, no, you would, wouldn't you?
I'd be a bit more inclined.
I just kill myself, just couldn't be asked with the admin. Oh, the cheese died, they've got to claim the life insurance. Fuck that.
Oh, right.
Change all the bills over to my name.
Oh, that. I thought you meant physically just doing it.
Having to go through 7 lots of credit score checks
and
getting come back. You can't keep living like this anymore because your credit shit and your wife was holding you up. Fuck it, I'll just kill myself.
It's always there. That's the comforting thing.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it gets, no matter how much you're getting chased.
You always think, I can top myself.
I can just kill myself,
I can make this stop.
Don't take my option away from me.
But I wonder now
Don't
as well.
make me go through this for 50 years.
Because when I was growing up, everyone put a brave face in it. Mental health was a stigma. Sometimes I wish it fucking still was. Could it be a stigma again? I'm really bored of everybody talking about their mental health.
Sit in the armchair, don't speak, drink tins and smoke.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that somehow makes you feel worse that you talk about it all the time. If you,
maybe it means that you start to wallow.
If you're constantly saying, "Well, this is what's wrong," and I'm feeling really sad, I think you make yourself even more sad.
You wallow in it,
Whereas if you kind of, because if you try and kid on that you're happy, sometimes it actually you convince yourself.
This is why I don't necessarily agree with
like a hangover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
Yeah. You're saying that when you're on the 62 in your moto. I'm fucking buzzing it.
Having a great time.
Oh, another leak. Fantastic.
Oh, a blowout. Fantastic. There we go.
Oh, pirates. Brilliant. This is your ship now. Okay, mate. Crack on. This is why I kind of don't agree with therapy. See, people recommend therapy to me sometimes, but then I'm like, if I just sit in a room and talk to someone about all my issues, they're still going to be with me when I leave. I'm just going to be more aware of them because I've been talking about them for the past
I'm the same. I don't want to open it up.
Yeah, I don't really
leave Pandora's bottle up.
I know all my shit. I don't need to tell
very
someone
much.
else.
So people, you should really talk about these things.
Why?
Absolutely. I'm like, no.
I'm quite happy to lose it.
Decompartmentalize, stick them all in boxes, and we don't need to chat about it.
Life's hard enough without me acknowledging all my problems constantly to a stranger who I'm paying to listen to me.
Yeah.
That's
what comedy's for.
Yeah, exactly. That's what those paying cunts are for, to listen to me problems.
There's not a pain in my life I haven't discussed on stage.
Yeah, 100%. I talk about domestic violence, talk about suicide, all kinds of stuff on stuff. Yeah. Because I think... So when people say about cancel culture, I don't think there is. I genuinely think if it's funny, you should talk about absolutely anything as long as it's funny. It's that simple, really.
I think the issue with that though is when you get to when you become a certain person, like persona, and people have a perception of you already. So whatever you say is going to be tainted in their minds by the image that you've been. Like Chubby Brown, for instance,
for creating that image, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying it will be harder for you to make an innocent joke about something without people ascribing certain isms to it.
There's a mob mentality as well, isn't there? Because people don't listen. People hear what people say, and what people hear are two completely different things half the time. and then it grows arms and legs. I mean, there was, I don't even know if you were in comedy at the time when Scott Gibson was royally flushed out.
Yeah.
And that was a story, I know exactly what happened because the women sent me the pictures that they were getting sent. And I was the one that originally went, something's going on here, guys. This is not very good.
Was he just sending dick pics or did he actually go?
They weren't his.
No, they weren't his. There was pictures of Danny D or something. Some big black guy's cock.
Massive.
Yeah, big black cock.
He's not black.
Oh, that's just funny.
Danny D's just got a big chopper.
Oh, no, there was black cocks as well.
Danny D. No. I'm aware of a lot of his work.
I am.
And he's a white man.
He's been on a few podcasts, this Danny D fella.
Is he?
All right.
You don't listen to podcasts?
I saw a clip of him on that.
He watches it.
Jack, mate.
Muted.
But that story, I would hear that story years later in green rooms, people going, oh, Scott saying this is what he did this, he did that. And I'm going, oh, you fucking didn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people say, oh, he raped, but no, he didn't. Yeah. He was a very, behaved badly, creepy. I mean, busy. Fucking hell, the amount of texts he sent to different women. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's a full-time job. But the things that he got accused of weren't. And I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form. He fucked up and he fucked up badly, and he said the consequences. Yeah. But then when you hear that these are the things that he's done, you go, that's just a fucking lie.
Yeah. Right.
Do you know what I mean? So
and that must
it's frustrating.
Is it difficult as a woman, right, to be in a position where you might necessarily want to defend someone against accusations?
Well,
that
was the ironic situation. I was defending Scott Gibson to a woman who was accused him of being a rapist. Yeah. I'm like, this is mental because
you're going against your
do you know what I mean? He's a fucking idiot, but that he didn't do that, so.
There's a lot of fucking.
And he was, do you know what I mean? He went to court and, it was dealt with.
Have you ever dealt with that personally? Like someone being weird or pervy towards you?
No.
Now. The three of us now. We used to accuse her of selling her ass after gigs on stage.
Do you know what?
Yeah, but that's not going out.
Genuinely.
So it didn't happen.
In any walk of life, do you know what I mean? Yeah, a couple of guys, guys have got, fancy and I want no thanks or whatever. That people have come on to me, but no, my husband's
with his fit.
But I've never felt threatened or in a situation where I've felt that it's been difficult. But then I don't know. I'm married mum of four. I mean,
did I find that offensive?
People, maybe I should kind of go.
Nobody's made me feel uncomfortable.
No, exactly. It's
Can
like,
someone make a pass, please?
Really does question my kind of attractiveness.
Yeah. No, hello, vulnerable woman here.
But again, that's such a tricky subject, isn't it? But it is that thing where it definitely exists. There are some people that use, that. But again, I think it's that arms and legs. And so, there was a big thing in Scotland where during the lockdown, everyone was bored and fell out.
Yeah. I noticed that. Everyone was admitting to crimes they'd not done because they were bored as fuck.
Heads managers ending.
I did I came off the forum after that because I was like, there's not enough hours in the day, can't be arsed. But there was a whole argument. Basically, the way that it was being made to sound, it was like that everybody in Scottish comedy, was a predator. Yeah. And I did kind of go, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because the way people were making it sound was like I couldn't get to the stage at the stand.
Dead cryptic with stuff.
Yeah.
And they go like, there's an act that we all know, but it's like, who?
Yeah.
Who is
I
this?
don't know. Right. Tell me, please.
And then you put everybody else under suspicion because it's like, and I got to the point because it's like, you're making it sound like, I can't get to the stand at this stage at the stand without getting a cock up my arse. That's not how this is panning out.
It's about there, love.
Do you know what I mean? But then there was...
Well, that's not your experience, but your daughter's is quite like that.
She's having a lot of time.
Can't manage a comedy show without someone trying to shag me.
It's a bit much.
But there was this kind of... there was this whole thing. And I did go, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Mark Nelson? Are you talking about Robin Granger? Are you talking about... You're a fucking arsehole. Anyway. But...
I just laugh at his joke.
But I was like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who are these people? And then
was it Nelson?
Always Nelson. Always Nelson.
Yeah.
You can see it in the eyes.
To get Keir Starmer vibes from
him. The eyes.
Little turncoat.
But I don't know.
Sexual predator.
The whole thing about women in comedy, because if a woman says to me now, "Oh, it's so hard getting booked being a woman," it's never been fucking easier. Do you know what I mean? It was hard. It did used to be difficult. There was, and I don't even think it was deliberate. It was just. it was just a mindset that was just kind of going, these are the boys. You know, boys are easy. You know, just found it easier to get places. I don't know, but there was some sort of.
Did you feel a change in audiences?
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Audiences will assume that a man's funny until he proves otherwise. They will assume a woman is unfunny until she proves otherwise.
Yeah.
So you're shifting the audience, and I kind of get it with promoters because I used to run gigs. So if I was comparing and then put a woman, you'd be like, you know, oh, that's another woman, and that's just the audience mindset, and it doesn't change overnight. It has to shift slowly, and you know. But the more women that do it, the more better women that do it. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise you just
the problem is though,
stereotype.
a lot of the better women get fast tracks. Then
yeah.
It's like
well, not even fast track, but like sometimes they get opportunity.
Yeah.
But like sometimes they might put on a woman to meet a quota or something.
Yeah.
But then that woman hasn't had the experience yet, so therefore the society views that as going, women aren't funny. It's because they haven't been doing it long enough to get that experience. They've been put on because it's the quota thing. Was let her have 10 years, don't give her 4 years, and then put her on. And then when they get open to the wider audience, they're great. It shifts that sort of thing. And also, the funny women get booked, but then they will get a better gig and pull. And then a comedian,
and they don't stay in
this. I've booked a woman every single time, and each time they pulled for a better woman, and they're going, I've got to just, this is the best.
And that's what's frustrating, because I see quite a lot of people getting it in the net going, oh, you know, and that's things like that don't help. Going, oh, it's a sausage fest. You go, you don't know who they booked, who's pulled out, you know, so just taking that face value and going, it's an all-white male lineup, and they haven't, but you go, that's not what happened. There's originally two, do you know what I mean? So
it's what you were saying before about people just reacting.
So when you're yelling about that, you're actually completely and utterly distracting from the fact that sometimes it is harder as a woman to get booked at some gigs, or you know, or just the mindset. You know,
I remember it happened at Hot Water once. It was quite funny when someone chose someone chose that month to have a go at. Went through Hot Water's list and someone went, no men or women, no women on the bill, and then it was the perfect timing, and like Paul Blair just went back and went, you've just looked at the month ahead. Look at the month back, and she was like, there is no listings for the month back on your website. So he sent her the listings, and every weekend there's at least one, if not two women on the bill for that whole month previous. And he was like, what is your point? And then she just was like, for fuck's sake, just the timing was so wrong.
I remember somebody complained and said the 6 months coming up there was only one woman booked, and apparently Binty replied and went, thank you so much for bringing that to my attention, I'll have her removed immediately. But then I get, you know, sometimes, you know, with Hot Water who do book me, but people go, oh, you don't count. I'm like, why do I not count?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, innit?
Because I am older, and people go, oh, you get booked everywhere. It's like, but I've worked really fucking hard.
It's insulting.
Really good,
it's insulting. There are some people who go like, and you go, well, so gigs there and gigs there. It's like, what you're doing is insulting them. Like by saying no women get booked there, you're insulting the women that do get booked there. Yeah. It's like...
Paul Field's just been there all weekend. I was on with Kate Tracy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, two women. I mean, Binty clearly was in the menopause.
Does it annoy you when you'll see a gig advertised and it says female act, like preferred sort of thing? Does that annoy you?
Absolutely pisses me off.
Does it annoy you more when a male act comments
me.
saying, I'll wear a dress?
I think that is like
that's never been funny. I don't care. That's never been funny. Stop saying it. Everyone stop saying it. Oh, I can wear a dress. I can wear a wig. Shut up. It's not funny.
Now,
it's never been funny.
Who books this is
Staunton will see this.
Yeah.
Like there's just whenever someone gets that mad about something, you go, well, I've got to do it now. I don't even believe this.
I'll wear a dress. Who books this? And the one, my favourite one, Mick Ferry always does it, and it does make me laugh, is didn't happen. It really makes me laugh.
TikTok,
but no, I genuinely can't remember who it was who said, oh, book you for this gig, I need a woman on this gig. I was like, no, you need a comedian on the gig. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need me because I'm a woman. And I find it really insulting.
I wish people
would
really insulting.
Well, I see what they do. When they say female, they're obviously trying to get someone who might not necessarily apply for, like, it's out of my range to go. Yeah. There's a more chance. So if someone sees, there's a gig for this much, and they go, that's how my price bracket. But if they go female at preferred or something, then that person might go, well, I'll put my name in that for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like someone said to me, we need a Northwest comedian. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, well, I'll put my name for that. If it was like a big paying, like, no, I'll be like, oh, that's the pool smaller now, so go on. So I kind of get why you would advertise it like that.
But saying female at preferred, I think it sounds infinitely less shitty than I need a woman.
No. And again,
phrase it properly.
It is, some of the stuff distracts from it, but it is good that, because it is encouraging more women. More women are getting women are getting better. Because it's always been that imbalance that there's been loads of shit women, but there's been loads of shit blokes.
Oh yeah.
It's just loads.
It is that audience perception. You see one unfunny woman and all women are unfunny, and then you one shit. That bloke was a bit shit. But it's mindset. And it's just not true.
And there was I think I put out of 8 women applied. I think there was 2 that I'd book. And I was thinking 25%, that's fucking terrible. And then I looked at the amount of men that applied and went, it's probably about the same, 25%.
Yeah.
That I actually want a book sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's that thing, people go, think that women, because women have been forced to be competitive with each other because there was only ever one spot. So, women kind of just by default going, fuck.
Well, it's like with the whole BBC thing.
Mandy Knight's got that fucking, whatever.
Yeah.
So it did make women sort of against each other, which is awful. And we never gigged together, so it was really hard to even have friendships with other women.
Because you never seen them.
Yeah, you never seen them.
That whole BBC thing annoys me because the whole, you got to have one woman on every panel show now sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But what they started doing, they're getting lazy. Rather than having one female comedian on every panel show, it's just one woman. So they just end up putting a personality on.
So it's just Holly Willoughby or something.
It's just like... So what's happened then is less comedians are doing that show now. Yeah. There's less fresh talent on that show.
But one person
because what you're doing is rather than being...
gets paid anyway.
Rather than being and going and finding a decent female comic or finding a decent comic, what you've done is now just gone, who's a female? Let's put them on.
Yeah. And it does tend to do that, but they still use male comics and then female celebrities. Yeah. It's like, but again, I genuinely love seeing women do well because for me, there's nothing worse than if a woman goes on and doesn't have a good gig. It's like, oh no, fuck. It's going to be really hard because it's still fragile with the audience. Whereas you got women goes and smash, and somebody saying to me, "Oh, you pissed off? She did really well." I was like, "I'm fucking delighted." Yeah, do you know what I mean? If a woman goes on and smashes, I'm like, "Yes, super."
And I'm like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I know.
Fuck,
just a joke.
My toxicity might go down the drain here now. Yeah.
Hey, let's go around the couch and say who our favourite female comedian is.
Jojo Sutherland.
Oh, easy peasy.
Mandy Knight. Mandy Knight.
That's the 2 gone, isn't it?
Caulfield,
liar. Joe Caulfield, Zoe Lyons,
Haley Ellis.
I love Haley Ellis.
Yeah, actually, we do need to say
saw her
shite,
recently.
It's part of the rule here.
Jeannie Godley, fucking love Jeannie. Kerry Godliman, fucking superb. There's so many good there are. There's loads of fucking Linnea Benjamin.
Oh yeah.
So
he's done the shite. No, we have to say that.
Yeah. Any comedian gets mentioned on this shite.
If someone says who's the best comedian, you have to go, this guy, and then you have to go shite.
Real Lena,
absolutely. And because I'm really good mates with Rhea.
Ukulele shite.
She's dropped the ukulele.
She?
But she's worked like a bastard. I think she deserves all the success she's getting.
Same as Keris. Keris is quality.
Yeah,
Keris is great.
Does she get underrated because she's
she shagged the dwarf?
Because she shagged the dwarf.
But then there is no rhyme or reason because she's kind of going, and it's not about seeing people successful.
She's getting a lot more gigs, and it's weird.
And it's not weird, is it?
She said it's weird.
Well, that's what you have to do, Rob.
Well,
I don't have to. I'm fine.
Daisy Earle's another one. She's fucking great.
Daisy Earle. The other mum, she was
Alison June Smith.
Yep, absolutely. I'm kicking with her.
She's on in about 20
minutes. Oh yeah, shit. Alison's on.
Yeah.
What's in this room?
Yeah. We're doing some record.
You're doing 2 records?
Luke Conran, who I saw yesterday.
Yeah. Am I still the guest for the other one?
Sally Ann, yeah.
Oh.
So there's loads of really good strong women.
Yeah.
Hang on, there's 2 conversations
going on. Sly, innit?
He was meant to tell you.
What?
Who's the other guest then, apart from Alison?
Danny.
Sit in the
Danny
middle.
Sutcliffe. Yeah, you can be on. It's fine.
Yeah, can I still be on that one?
Yeah.
I just don't want to fucking sit there like a knobhead for an hour while you have a laugh. Like watching the fucking grown-up table at a wedding or pissing themselves.
The kiddie table.
This is his fault.
Why? He's on.
You never told him.
I thought you did when you picked him up.
I thought this was a one record
Susan Morrison, she's on
episode.
Stop naming female comedians now. We get it.
There's
There's a few of them now.
But
Bethany Black.
Yes, absolutely. Deborah Jane Appleby.
Yeah.
Fucking loads. Katie Mulgrew. I fucking love Katie. Loads of them. Shut up. I love. There's loads.
Now for balance, let's go around and say what female comedian we think is shit.
Okay.
I'll start.
Jojo's the honest one. I'm a closed book.
That is a bit too dangerous.
Is that too dangerous, Jojo?
Wait, what was it?
He said she's the honest
out
one.
with that one.
I did shout that one.
I don't what?
Everyone's got,
So Jojo, I think you want to go for a piss when
I think I've got career limiting on
Right,
career limiting on. I don't want career destroying, honestly.
Okay. Right, yeah, that's fair. What else is new with you?
Well, no, I'm pissed off that I'm being fucking banished to the corner while you have another podcast with a couple. I heard Alison and oh, great, I can sit in the middle like your fucking mascot, yeah. Like a fucking keyring or something. I won't even have a mic.
Pop him on the table.
Just get the train back.
What?
Just get the train back.
The train?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I will. I've got a UTI. I'll sit on a train with a UTI.
Poor boy.
Listen. This
got
is
STD on the ticket. No, you can sit here.
Sit on your lap, yeah?
Just sit down on the couch. Avant-garde. We're willing to bend the format.
Wish I'd been told.
Yeah, well, I wish you'd been told as well.
So
I thought you'd have said something when you organised the list.
Do you think I was going to pick him up and go, oh, right, now we've got you?
Well, I thought you'd have messaged him when we're meeting you.
I assumed
Are you
you'd
getting
tell
back?
him. No, you up to you to book him. It was up to you to tell him.
I told you I had a UTI and you said perfect. That was the extent of our interaction.
Look, I'll go. You present the show. I'll sit behind there like a knobhead. Go on my phone.
You'd love that. I'll go get myself a bottle of wine and I'll sit there.
No, it'll be fine. You can come on. 5 episodes with 5 people. So where are you headed after this then, Jojo?
Patreon.
I am literally driving back to Edinburgh tonight.
Where are you staying?
With my ex-husband, weirdly.
Wow.
Are you still
Only
like
because,
mates then, yeah?
Yeah, still good mates. Because I'll get home, I'll get back to his about midnight, and then I want to upgrade my phone tomorrow, but he's still on my Vodafone, so I want him to come with me so he can get taken off my bill and have his own contract.
I need to do the same, and I can't bring myself to upgrade. I haven't got the energy to deal with
Vodafone.
Vodafone.
I'm going to do it tomorrow. Yeah.
Why do you need to deal with Vodafone?
Because the contract's up, and I just cannot be arsed.
Click on the website.
I know. You know what I'm like though.
But I'm going in. I'm going to go into a shop.
That you go. Just click on the website. I'm like, it's not that easy. It's a whole fucking. I've got to speak. What do you want? This. I want this. What's this? And there's this and the cloud and all this. And I've got
me date of birth for fuck's sake.
Exactly. There's that.
Which is why I go into a shop. I can't do it online. It's do my hair. But so I'm dragging my newly separated from partner to that tomorrow, and then I'm going to go and stay with my son in Edinburgh Tuesday night, and then I've got keys to Tom Stade's house, and I'm going to go there for 4 nights because I'm in Glasgow.
Okay, now keys to Tom Stade's house.
Yeah,
nice.
I've got keys to Tom Stade's house.
Is he also with the fam? He does a lot with the fam, doesn't he?
So him and Trudy are away most of the time, and the kids are grown up. I've got keys to Tom's house. I've got keys to my ex-partner's house.
Kids?
Oh, Kira's 21 and Mason. No, Kira's 20. Yeah, 21 and Mason's 23. 24.
Sorry, just thinking back to a porno scene. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Mason walking in on you while you're staying in Tom's house.
Good damn.
Recently separated.
I've got keys to Alison June Smith's house. I've got keys to Julia Chamberlain's house.
Well, they're not going to be in, so you can fucking
go and rinse
go there now.
I've got keys to Daisy Earl's house.
Go and get the telly and that. Rob the dog.
Have you got keys to all these houses?
Yeah. They gave me keys.
It's very trusting.
I know, it's blessed.
Have you been mates for a while?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, for years.
Yeah, of course,
yeah, I mean, I've been open house for 20 years. Most comics have stayed at my house at some point.
Yeah, I think...
Well, that's a lovely position to be in.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
And I genuinely have a big thing of keys.
Like a caretaker.
Yeah.
A comedy caretaker.
Jailer.
Who's the janitor in Harry Potter? What's his name?
Yeah.
Who's got the best house?
What's his name?
R.I.P. Robbie Coltrane.
Oh, who has got the best house?
Whose house you get most excited to go to stay in?
Do you know what? Tom's is lovely because it's like being on holiday because it's just in the middle of the country and it's really nice. Daisy's is great because it's right next to the tram stop, and so I park my car there and I can just go and do stuff. Julia Chamberlain's house is in Brixton in London, and that's
handy,
really handy. So
just a house in London that you can stay in is handy.
Yeah.
At all.
Do when you go in, do you feel like it's yours? Do you?
Yeah. Because I know where everything is. And
that's the wealth in it coming out.
Nice,
that's the entitlement of living in a castle. I own this. I can go in anywhere and I own it.
This belongs to me anyway.
I'm better than you.
I've got 5 properties.
You should be grateful I'm using your house.
Yeah.
You should be grateful I've come down to this level to use your shithole.
Ringing them up.
Did
you wash these sheets?
No, you can't teach
You can't teach entitlement. You're born with it.
My husband did say to me that and it wasn't in a mean way, it was being funny. He was like, you really do just behave like it's the servant's day off.
Yeah.
You just live like it's a servant.
Yeah. You're like a young king who just doesn't understand what? I can't have a key to your house.
How am I going to get
at the end of this, you're like, and I'll be like, what? You're like, key, please. And you're like, why? Do you mean why? Just give me your keys.
Just doing that. Key, please.
Yeah. I think that's probably how you've lived. Like,
that's great.
You think you're welcome in all these houses and everyone's going, has she still got that key, for fuck's sake?
We're going to have to change the locks now.
Once. She cried it in. I let her stay once.
I reckon you just got it once. You cut it and then you said, "Oh, I've got one. It's fine." And no one's had the balls to go, "Hang on, that wasn't okay for you cutting that key, Jojo."
You just sit outside waiting for the lights to go off, and then you go in and help yourself to some food.
Yeah.
Doesn't even ask. She just checks gig listings.
Yeah.
Hey Daisy, I can see you're in Buxton that night.
I've cancelled your gig there and I booked you in Manchester.
You probably have to stay over now.
Trudy sent
my daughter tells me you're doing the Edinburgh stand this weekend.
Diary dates of where Tom is, so I know when they're away.
Really? They're terrified of you.
Wow. Yeah. Do you clean up after yourself?
They're only staying together because of you. They'll stay together because of Jojo.
We can't lose the house. Where will Jojo sleep?
Trudy, you coming on tour with me again? Oh, I have to, otherwise Jojo will turn up and just think she can stay with me for 4 nights. I'm not entertaining her again.
Also, I had Steve Hughes living with me for 4 months during lockdown, so come on. I've paid my price.
Right.
No wonder he's just your husband. He probably put conspiracy theories in your head the whole time.
Yeah. I was after, but mad.
Do you clean up after yourself, like?
No. God, no.
They've got stuff.
What is this to clean up?
Yeah.
Well, like dishes.
She leaves it.
Of course I do.
I do somebody else's dishes and shit.
I'm a very low maintenance.
If I stayed in someone's house and they weren't there and I used dishes and that to cook, I'd wash them.
Of course you would, yeah.
No, sorry. The way I thought you were sincere then. The way you were being like, the fuck you on about cleaning up? I was like, no, I would always do
someone
that.
else's dishes.
Yeah, and make me beds at least.
That would be so funny. We're like, you have to dish in the sink. Yeah, they're your dishes.
Yeah, they're your dishes, mate.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So when you're with them, you could just sit in silence with them all night, like it's that comfortable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't feel the pressure to have to try.
No. It's not that kind of come around, try and
not
be entertaining.
Right.
No, God, no.
It's in almost like a teenager straight.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So,
I couldn't imagine being comfortable to shit in that many houses.
Really? See, I'm amazed at the amount of people I know that won't shit in outside of their house.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
I'll shit outside my house, but the conditions have got to be right.
Yeah, I think that is as well, yeah.
The conditions have got to be right.
Yeah, there's got to be no one around. No one in earshot.
Well, see, that's the other thing about this whole with the
it's an event when you go for a shit. You got to have bank tickets.
This is the argument about gender-neutral toilets. That's the argument about gender-neutral toilets. I don't give a shit about, sharing toilets with transgender people. I have a real problem sharing toilets with men.
Yeah.
I don't want to share with men.
Having said that,
horrible.
I worked at
I don't want women knowing I snort B.
I worked at a pub, though, and the girls' toilets are always 10 times in more of a state than the men's.
Yeah.
I'd rather not share the toilet with women. To be
honest.
Well,
because men just get in there, rip the toilet seat off, go, no one shits in that now, and there you go.
Yeah.
But where did I see somewhere in Manchester?
One toilet is just a no-go area.
Everyone, the man's walked in, ripped the toilet seat out. No one can shit. We all piss. Get on with things.
You need a shit go home.
Yeah, exactly.
None of these can take a shit.
I'll go to Birds Park.
That's my theory on these bars that have one toilet. They have one cubicle, and that's it.
Off.
Because they don't want you shitting there.
Well, I'll fucking show them.
It's just one toilet.
It's
like a busy Friday night.
Disabled toilet. We've done our due. That's legal. That's the legal amount we have to have.
The guy won't clog a disabled toilet. You're full of shit.
People are drinking pint after pint after pint, and you've got one toilet for the men. Like, you just don't want anyone shitting in there. The stigma of being in there for 10 minutes, maybe. Yeah. And it's like, that's what it's designed for.
You better be doing drugs in there.
Somewhere in Manchester, there was gender neutral and gender neutral urinals. It's like, well, just again, it's the reactive.
I'm not that. I've got no beef with anything like that. I'm fine.
It doesn't bother me either.
But I don't think
I have to remember you've got grok privilege, haven't you?
I wouldn't feel.
There's no imminent threat of anyone being in the toilet with me.
But it's not about being a threat. Women behave differently around each other, and in places like that, there's a code between women. You know, it's just kind of. I just feel awkward with a bloke that I don't know.
No, but I'm the same. I'm the same. Like I don't like when
I don't really like other women who are
just because
I don't like when it's mixed, because then when I go to the toilet and I'm on a night out, I like to go, put my hand on the wall, lean against it, have a piss.
Have a word with yourself.
Oh, for fuck's sake, sort myself out. Have a little word myself, get myself back together and go again. Can't do that. Well, as women, I've got to pretend I'm a gentleman. Just undo me.
Hold me farting and that.
I like
to have a fucking good.
You could have neutral toilets, but I think it's just that there are, like we said, men will take advantage. There are some men that you just can't trust and be like, well, that's why they've got to stay separate.
Yeah, some men are so stupid and immature and just borderline mental.
I think it is. It's about inclusivity, but it's not about then excluding other people. So it's just odd. I don't know.
Like, I wouldn't be bothered if I were in the toilet and then a woman was in there, because there's no threat, is there? I think if we were going in their toilet, I'd be like, I wouldn't like that. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't like, if you see some men, you go like, he doesn't need to be around women.
Like, what would you rather do? Would you rather use a disabled toilet or a women's toilet if you had to choose?
Disabled.
Even if you walked out and someone caught you?
Disabled. You have the mirror, you get everything. Love a disabled toilet.
Yeah, the room.
The handles are nicer as well. It's got that satisfying
spacious
clunk.
You can really get yourself sorted in the disabled toilet.
Yeah.
No one's going to barge in on you.
The only worry of the disabled toilet is the risk of coming out of it and there being a disabled person.
Yeah.
That's the only real worry.
You just got to play the numbers game, innit?
Don't you?
You got to play the numbers.
Play the odds, innit?
Yeah.
Always have a little.
Some disabilities aren't visible, though.
Well, you always have a little look around the pub first, don't you? Go,
got
a balloon. Can't see a wheelchair.
But I also think it's like, I think all the toilets should just be for everybody. Do you know what I mean? But
there should be a shit old toilet and a decent toilet, and everyone respects it.
I don't like the cubicles. I think if it's
men
just
are too pervy to be going in women's toilets. End of. They just are.
Yeah,
they just are. I mean,
especially late at night when you've had a film.
Yeah, that just doesn't need to be mixed. Just keep that safe. Let women into the men's one. That's fine. Take it away from
take your chances.
You want to go in there?
Fair enough. Chances. Yeah,
take your own risk.
The other way around.
Might get upskated. It's out of my hands.
I don't need to go and be able to piss next to a woman just for whatever reason. I'm willing to not have to do that.
I'm willing to.
I just think we're making so much. Yeah, it's like, surely it's not that big a deal that we're changing everything to make nobody happy. Nobody's happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're changing all these kind of things. Is anyone happy? Are men happy? Are women happy? No one's happy.
Yeah. It's like the media's reaction to the Queen dying. Nobody knew exactly how to act, so everyone just acted with hysteria or pretend hysteria, and everyone just ended up...
Well, everyone just went to the extreme because for fear of being called out.
But then again, it's that thing, the media was saying, the whole country's mourning. No, some of the country were mourning, some of the people were just fascinated, tourists were just interested to go and... if she'd been in a bloody... If I could have seen her, I'd have bloody queued. Do you know what I mean?
Would you?
If I could have seen the Queen, I think it would have been quite fun.
To see the dead Queen?
Yes, if she'd actually seen an open casket.
For how long?
Yeah, what's the maximum you'd wait?
Like a nemesis.
But I think, again, it's not about... I'm not saying lack of respect, but a lot of people did do it out of... it was an event. I
understand that more for curiosity, but like...
Curiosity,
there's got to be a bit of a... For me, there's got to be a time, like he said.
I wouldn't go and see a box.
If there was a 2-hour queue for the Nemesis, I just wouldn't go on the Nemesis.
I'd do half an hour.
I would if I knew the Nemesis was at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do 30 hours.
No, 30 minutes I'd probably do for the dead Queen.
The longest I've lasted in that Queen queue is like 10 minutes.
I'd give the Queen an hour. To see the Queen, I'd give the Queen an hour, especially if it was, I could touch her on the slide.
If I could see her,
sniff your fingers and see what she smelled like.
Yeah, I could just like fucking say something horrible.
But the media interpreted that the whole nation was mourning and then grieving for the Queen. But that's not why. I don't think why most people queued to see her. And I think people just went, "Oh, it's a once in a lifetime. Let's do this."
This is another thing that winds you as well. They knew it was bullshit because they cancelled the footy because they didn't want Liverpool booing the national anthem. And it was like,
he didn't boo the cricket.
What?
He didn't boo the cricket. They didn't cancel the cricket.
That's no, they cancelled the Premier League.
Conscience.
They cancelled the Premier League because they were worried Liverpool were going to boo the national anthem. But why not just, that's going to happen. Don't play the national anthem at Anfield. But you're so scared of someone going, Premier League never played the national anthem at every game, that you cancelled every single game. Just, what's going to happen. Fucking deal with it or don't bother.
Don't cheering over the top.
We're going to boo it. We're going to fucking boo it. That's life. Get on with it.
Play something else. Play some
Oasis. It's that kind of trying to pretend to be something you're not. It's like, oh yes, no, that doesn't happen. Yeah, it does happen, and just let it happen.
But don't you think that the royal family have basically put themselves in a bubble where they actually do genuinely think that everyone in this country loves them because that's what they get told constantly by the people who are around them all the time?
I think so.
They never see people.
Yeah, because they act so offended when someone questions them.
Like, that makes me think you genuinely mustn't be aware that the majority of us just fucking hate you.
Yeah. But that is that sort of elitism, that 12% Billy. All of these people live in a world where we're just human rats. Yeah. We're of no interest to them. What we think or say is of no concern.
Yeah, we're grubs to them, sure.
So, and we can say whatever we like. We can vote to a blue in the face, make no fucking odds, because they have enough money and enough arrogance to just go and do what you want. They can do what the fuck they want.
That's why I don't vote anymore. I don't think I'll ever bother voting again. I really don't see the point of it anymore.
What we need to do is go. Do you know what I mean? When the Queen's funeral, that would have been a really good time for a bomb to go off. all those people in charge.
Where's the IRA when you fucking need them?
Yeah. Why is there never like a nutter with
that would have been a great time to come back as well for the
stuff like that.
The Ra could have come back at her funeral with a bomb. That would have been that's fucking movie. That's movie stuff. Yeah. That's back with a proper bang.
That's how they could finance themselves by selling their little story to Hollywood and getting a big film made out of it.
But while we still live in a world, I mean, people going, oh, am I allowed to do that? Oh, check if we're allowed to do this. In fact, anybody in a position of authority, never assume that they know what the fuck they're talking about.
I think that's come from COVID as well, being told, oh, you got to wear a mask, we've got to wear them, it will protect you, it will protect. And now it's like not really the case, because if it was, we'd still be getting made to wear them, and like we're not. And we never really were.
Yeah, no one knew how to behave.
Yeah, no one knew how to behave.
Nobody knew how to behave. It was like, and that blew my mind. It's like, sorry. And even the idea is like, you don't know you're not ill. Someone's had a stroke.
Someone doesn't know they've had a stroke.
Yeah. Oh, insanity. The world's mad. But yeah, while people still do things like that, like kind of go, oh my God, the Queen, oh, what we're going to do, she was the mother of the nation. While we still live in a world with people like that who choose dairy milk as the best chocolate.
Yeah, sure. We're still in a world with like Epstein's Islands and countless other
who do people think killed him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know that Ricky Gervais thing? Actually, I want to say that Golden Globes, where he's slagging them off, and everyone's going, "Oh my God, do you see what he said to him?" What does nobody compute? Going, why has he said that? And why has nothing been done when we know this is going on?
Knows,
everybody knows. So that's how wealthy and powerful you think anything that we do is happening is for the good of our health. Is it? Fuck.
Yeah.
And anybody who thinks that, oh yeah, we just all need to follow the rules and do as we're told and everything's going to be fine, you deserve to die.
I agree.
And on that note, thanks for listening.
So, before we go, Jojo, you've got a podcast?
I do. It's called Be Honest. We have some catchphrases like, guess who, don't sue. And if you don't want it said, if you don't want to broadcast, don't say it. So it's Be Honest. Bruce Devlin and I, and it did come out of our conversations in lockdown where we just talked about everything and our feelings, and it's all a bit but we don't pull
YouTube,
any punches.
Spotify, all that.
It's on all the platforms. So
Lovely.
so that
check it out.
Be Honest.
It's called Be Honest with Jojo and Bruce.
Be Honest podcast. Get on it.
And then I'm on the old Instagram and TikTok.
What's your handle?
Jojo Sutherland. Although Scottish Comedy Mum on TikTok.
Are you the Scottish Comedy Mum?
Scottish Comedy Mum on TikTok. That's right.
There you go.
And Jojo Sutherland on everything else.
Yeah, Staunton 87 on Instagram.
Is 87 the year of your
Follow
birth?
and find
by
out how the
any
UTI is
chance?
going on.
Sure is.
There'll be a UTI update
now.
tomorrow.
I need a piss again.
Oh my God.
Right, call it quits. Sound to the Patreon.
Thank
Love
you.
yous. Ta-da.
Bye.